Hey,
Hello.
Hey, good evening.
episode 18.
Yes.
Is that a significant number? Does 18 mean anything like in, I don't know, what do you call it? Numerology? Is that a big deal?
I don't know. I just know I'm 18. Near.
Oh. What though? Like, what would be like, ooh, celebration worthy? Like what
50?
what number?
Celebration worthy.
50?
Yep. Yeah. And can we call episode 80 Gorman? Left past 10 episode Gorman?
Okay, why? Is that like
Episode 80?
Greek for
He was
80?
my 80th subscriber.
Oh, okay. So what is
And I said, for the record, the day he said, I'm number 80, I said, I will never forget that. Thank you. And I would love for that to come around full circle.
Sure, yeah.
You
But
just got to remind us.
what date would 50 be? Can anyone figure that out?
1 year minus 2?
Ugh, that
Oh,
makes me
that's
tired.
quite useful.
So early October
We'll have a birthday for
or
you.
late
Start in
September.
October?
Birthday party for you, Matt.
It's gonna be
next
late in
year.
September.
Ooh.
A birthday party for me?
When 50 comes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be
Big
50 this year.
50.
Thanks for reminding me.
Listen, I'm not
Oh,
telling
that
y'all
might
what
work
my
out.
birthday coming up is in April, but not telling you.
I am gonna be 50 years old, and I don't look. I mean, I could be 30, right?
Yeah, I forgot that you have like elf blood. It's maddening to me.
34?
Elf blood.
34. Okay, fair.
Elf
I could-
blood.
Under 35.
The
gonna be
mailman
50.
refused to leave my house when he saw me because he's like, I'm sure there's an AARP card in here for you. And I was like, get out of here.
I
That's
get
the
that shit in
rascal.
the mail. I get in the mail. It's like the pre-AARP club. That's what they call it. The pre-50
The
club.
Well, I'm in the past.
I mean, give it to me. I'll take discounts. What are you
I'm the
talking
living
about?
Yes.
past.
Make everything cheap. I deserve it. I'm 50, damn it. Come on.
Exactly.
Hook me up.
No, you've got.
I
you've
got
gotta-
a few years on ya.
We're going to do this all night.
Yeah, saucy. It's the same.
Yeah.
I haven't fully decided if I believe him about his age.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah, you look quite young to me.
I was born in 1974.
Hmm.
Elvis Presley was alive. John Lennon was alive. There was no such thing as Star Wars.
Elvis Presley was
Oh.
alive, but the toilet was calling.
I mean, yeah, for a while.
75 is when we lost him.
Yep.
Way to bring the mood down, Jake.
Rip
All right,
No,
so
I was
what's
just looking
going
at the
on?
chat. I was
So
just
what
looking
happened
at
to
the
your
chat.
what happened to your camera, Jake?
Yeah, what happened, Jake? What's going on
Let's
with
hear
the camera?
story of the camera.
So it uses a USB-C cord, but apparently not just a normal one.
All right.
Because when I plugged in a replacement, nothing happened. It's
Oh.
USB whatever normal to USB-C. I don't know why I'm going so deep into this lore here,
Do you
but
think
it
it's
just
the
stopped.
cord
It's
or the
interesting.
jack?
I think it's the cord because
The cord always goes like
Remember,
every
planned
time you plug and
obsolescence.
unplug it, it fucking degrades.
Planned
Yeah.
obsolescence. You're right.
And
Sandy.
every-
I
when you
did
move
that
it-
show too. Remember?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how many times have I accidentally rolled over it with a wheelie chair and what have you? So, it'll be fine. It's a pretty easy fix.
Good.
And I'm sure it's the cord because if I hold it just right, then it works.
Oh,
So-
really?
Baby.
So why aren't you
Oh.
standing there holding the cord?
Because I can't be bothered.
That's funny. See, that would be something that would annoy me, and I would try to hold the cord. Yeah. Oh, see, now my camera's doing goofy things because I moved.
My camera's fine. My camera's fine. So what?
I can't move.
What? So what do you run to the store tomorrow, Jake? Get a new cord? Back in business?
I ordered this. Yeah, I assume somebody at the Best Buy is going to have a solution in mind for me in exchange for money from my wallet. So
Yeah.
I'll go there and get fleeced.
Let me
Or
ask you
money
this.
from someone else's wallet.
Let
You know,
me
they
ask you-
probably aren't going to ask that many questions. True.
Before we get too far into this episode, let me ask you: should we all be using avatars in solidarity?
I think that would make incredibly boring streaming.
Yeah.
all
I
right.
don't want to do
All
that.
right,
I
just
don't. Do I have? Oh, I
showing
have
support.
the pixel. We have our
Actually-
pixelated people, which I changed my thumbnail. And I
Boring.
put that-
Andrea's is boring.
I put all of us in my new thumbnail with the pixelated. Yeah, it's
Oh, I
cute.
love that.
I did a screenshot from our the intro, and I put it in. So now we have that on the thumbnail.
That
Mhm.
makes me so happy.
Yeah, because you did it. You did a great job.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. I love it.
Good. Me too. Me too. What
Okay.
else is new?
Well, I don't know. I've been. Oh, that's good. I love that. There we go.
There's.
Andrew's got a drawing.
I don't think I have anything
Hey,
here
can you
that would
see
work
me?
for me.
Am I audible?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that a drawing?
This is
I
my
couldn't. It's so
avatar?
lifelike. Couldn't tell the difference.
Hey, Sandy, how do you
Yes.
pronounce Bob Carmody's name? Is it Carmody? Carmody?
I would say Carmody. Bob
It
Carmody.
is Carmody.
It's
Like
Carmody.
comedy. Yeah.
Carmody
Okay.
like comedy.
Sorry, Bob.
Yeah. We've got the only video of him on our channel, I think, from when he came for the
Yeah,
was it New Year's?
I
No,
think-
Christmas, New Year's.
I think he may have corrected me on the phone one time and I totally forgot. But oh well, we got it now. Carmody.
Yeah, he's here tonight. Yeah, it's good to see
It-
everybody out there in chat land. Yay. Yay.
It took. I have a viewer called Dominico, and that's not that hard to say. But I said it wrong the first time, and my mind was
There
like,
you
"Let's
go.
just cement that forever."
They'll
It took
never get
them
it right.
calling me and and using their voice to communicate it for me to get there. So don't feel too bad about
Dominico.
Bob.
Now the pressure's
talking
on. If you fuck it up
like a
again, it's
year.
all over. This is me talking.
Oh God! Oh no!
Everyone but Matt
Funny.
should be represented by drawings. That is hilarious.
I
You
don't
might
have
just feel like
one.
you lost your
Be
mind.
like a puppet show.
What, Sandy? You don't have a Matt drawing.
No.
I
Yeah.
wonder how long before Andrea's arms get tired. of
Oh,
holding that
holding
up.
that up.
I got the magical invention you'll never guess. It's
What?
called an armrest.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, these are pretty
I
handy.
don't know. There's still some wrist action there.
Well, my wrists have been trained from years of speed running, so
Sure, oh, fair
I have
point.
super strong wrists.
Fair point.
So let me start out with asking everybody what's the weather where you are, because
Oh,
it'll
yeah, good
lead into
question.
what our discussion's going
Ooh,
into.
good.
Are you trying
Now-
to dox me? Is this?
No,
It's
you
like-
don't
Fishing
have to say
expedition?
where you
I'm
are.
trying,
You
you keep
just can
dodging it.
talk about your weather. That's
It was
all.
60 where I am today. I was in shorts and a t-shirt washing the car in the
Jeez.
driveway. It's kind of
Wow.
laying out for a little while doing some reading. I got a little sunburn. I don't know if you could tell, but yeah, it doesn't feel
for
natural,
you.
but it's South Carolina. Maybe it is natural. I don't know. Definitely does not snow here.
No, I
40.
didn't think it was a. But is it where you are, Jake?
40. It was
40?
practically balmy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's warm for Michigan, right?
Very, very much so. Once
Shit.
upon a time, we would be covered in snow for months at a time, and we had maybe a week of cold this year. And that even then, it was
Wow.
like way too cold when it was. It was like negative degrees.
It was cold when I was in Michigan
Let me see.
in November. way
That
too
was when it
cold.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It
damn.
is
Oh, wait, it was-
22.
It was like
with
windy and cold.
flurries. Oh, windy and cold.
It's
Ugh.
the worst.
Well, it's 22 in flurries, which is good. But I have an orchard, and last week when it was in the 50s, I got all kinds of paranoid. So I had to get covers
Ooh.
that I had to cover them with better covers than last year, like I did with sheets. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not losing my trees this year. So now that it went down again, I protected them because I don't know. I think there were like little nubbies. I was looking at everything on even other people's properties. Things were starting to come out, and then then it gets cold again, or you have a freeze. Like last year, we had our last freeze in May. That's when I had to cover everything with sheets. It was horrible because things were already sprouting, and we know that in my area, May is the typical last freeze date, so it's not unusual. We just hadn't had one in a long time.
It's
Hmm.
the fastest way to get someone to tell you their fucking street address. Just ask what the weather is. Everyone's doxing themselves. Like,
Ah,
I
I
live
don't
in this
care.
fucking county, in this state. This
Well,
is my
pretty
zip
much
code.
people know where I live, and
This
it
is
doesn't
my
matter. I'm
address.
protected.
Come track me down.
I ain't
Hey.
worried.
You're not getting that out of me.
I don't
All
know
right.
what.
But do you have any kind of temperature report at all?
Yeah, it's like fucking 15 degrees centigrade because I have the heater on. It's fucking too cold out there. I turned the heat on, so wow,
Wait
it's
a minute.
5 degrees outside.
So you could
what?
even
I'm
be in
staying
British-
in.
Sandy, ask
Yeah.
me what the temperature was like around my house again one more time.
So Jake, what's it like there in
614 South Putnam Street. Damn it, Andrea's right.
Okay. I'm certainly not doing that.
It's all over.
No, I'm not doing that. Everybody knows I'm an armed and ready lefty.
How
Even
many
though
shotguns you got?
we
12?
just two.
So
Just
I understand we'll be
mean-
talking about what is it? That thing that it's up there. It's on high. I think it's the sun.
The eclipse that's coming up in April. Yeah. Is
I'm
that
looking
what we're
forward to
talking
it.
about? Yeah, we were going to talk about this tonight, guys, out there. Everybody is going to be ready
Oh,
for the
ooh.
April eclipse, and it's going to be in so many different places. It's going to go from Texas. Well, it's coming from Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and maybe a little bit of Tennessee and Michigan. So if you guys have where you are, I know that I'm going to go watch it in Buffalo, New York, and it starts at 2:04 p.m., which is great for me. And they're planning on having a big to do, so you can go on there. And the eclipses, this one is the first one in in over 6 years. It's pretty cool. It's not a typical event. There's nothing nefarious. Eclipses are neat and cool and wild. And so I just wondered what you guys thought out there in the chat land too.
I like
Well-
eclipses.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
in.
I'm gonna look for an excuse to visit my sister in Cleveland and watch this eclipse.
I thought it was absurd the last time. What'd you say, 6 years ago or something, where everyone was taking off work and traveling.
Yeah,
I know it was like a big deal, but I was like, what are you guys taking time off for this for?
because everything turns into a tourist money-making
Yeah.
thing. If you look at the NASA website, they've got links to all these different manufacturers of eclipse glasses and eclipse telescopes you can hold in your hand and use it for one eye. I mean, it is kind of crazy. Everything is a marketing opportunity.
Don't
I'm
we have
only going to
fucking
Buffalo
phones?
because
Doesn't everyone have
Yeah.
a goddamn cell phone now? Like what? Why do you need a goddamn telescope bullshit? Like just use your phone.
you're
First of
supposed
all-
to not look directly at it, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but
without
you can
glasses.
record it on your phone without looking at it and then look at it later.
Yeah, but
have
that's not the real
some-
experience. That's a celluloid experience.
So first, I want to just say I'm very impressed with Andrea's commitment to this bit. It's
Yeah, Andrea, I sent you an image on Discord that you might be able to use instead.
Oh,
I
there's
don't
an
know.
image.
and second,
I don't have anything to put up, so
here I
we should have
here's-
planned it.
I have never
a
had
good
the wherewithal to ask this, and now I'm around people who probably know. Isn't the whole point of an eclipse that the sun is covered? So how come you can't look at it? It's covered.
Because that sliver that you still see could hurt. Who knows? Why don't we look it up?
Fair enough.
Okay, I mean,
Could
I
someone
really.
ask the 45th
will.
president about solar eclipses and whether or not to look at them, please?
Well, when it's
Get him on the phone.
completely, so here it is. During totality, when the sun is completely shrouded, it's fine to remove your glasses
Oh,
and
okay.
look
Good.
at
I'm
it
glad you
with
did
your naked eyes.
All right.
But before and after, certified eclipse sunglasses, it can't be any sunglasses, they have to be certified,
Yeah.
are essential to avoid eye damage. Just make sure they're not scratched or torn. Now, what I think is actually happening is that it's not that it will hurt your eyes, is that it's that they don't want you to know that there's actually, see, the earth is flat, there is no sky or space, and there's a guy that has to
Right.
like rearrange the sun and the moon once every 6 years.
Right.
I don't
Damn.
want
And
you to
they're
say
like,
that-
don't look.
You
Moon
beat me
Jerry,
to it.
sure.
That's
But
right.
and I mean, but only Donald Trump would know that for
So-
sure,
but you gotta
because
wear
that
those-
dumbass looked right
Because
at
he looked
it.
and he saw Moon Jerry scrooging the thing in there. Yeah.
Moon
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes. So special
That's
flat Earth
awesome.
eclipse glasses.
They do have watch parties,
really
which I think
great.
is cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Like a watch party. That's always fun. You know, especially if you're outside social distancing, right, Andrea?
Yeah.
And
yes.
wearing a mask, and it's not too windy, and no sneezing. But you know,
Well, you can sneeze. Just
well, but if
can't-
you look at the sun, you sneeze. So
is that true?
Yeah.
Does anyone
no,
else?
I
I have a
met
question
somebody
about sneezing.
Who did that?
Does anyone
Okay.
else like when they bump their nose, like just sneeze a million times?
no.
This is like every time, like this happens to me a lot. Like at night, I'll roll over and I'll like bump my nose, and then I sneeze like 10 times.
You have a sneezy nose.
Is that a
That's
thing?
pretty
No.
adorable.
Do you know about that?
No, I just came up with it, but it sounds like maybe it is a thing.
It might be
Yeah,
a
just
thing.
whenever,
Here,
like if
hit
I
your
get hit
nose.
on the nose, anything like
I could see that happening to some people. You have a sensitive nose and it's hitting little I don't know what they're called in there, but it would probably then make the sneeze reaction happen as a protection. Yeah,
I
I
gotta
can
get
see it.
protected.
So you sneeze, you're protected.
No,
Hey,
I'm a
what's-
sneezer.
I can't say I get hit in the nose anymore very often. Well, anymore. I don't get hit in the nose very often.
What's the non-prescription drug that Trump is supposedly always taking?
Sudafed.
Yeah, that's how he can look at the. He had so much Sudafed in his system.
Well, he
He can
takes
look
the
at the sun.
illegal UK version.
Yeah.
It's illegal in the US.
So
Oh,
he,
God, that's
so
right.
if you're willing to do
Ugh.
that, you can look directly at the eclipse and be unaffected. But you would have to do that illegal UK Sudafed for years first.
Yeah, you got to
in
do it for
high
at least 8
doses.
years. I
And that's
heard.
not recommended either. You know what
Ah,
I like
And-
about
and-
the eclipse? Those little crescent shadows. That shit is a trip. I wouldn't want to look. I want to look at if you look at the, like, assuming this happens in the summer and you're looking at leaves shadows on the ground, they are weird.
Wild.
It's like that little sliver of light cast what they call a crescent shadow or something like that. It's the
Huh.
weirdest effect.
Something you can draw.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
don't think so?
I don't know. I took a picture of it and was like, it kind of moves. It's like
I'm
always
gonna
moving.
be taking a picture myself. That I've never noticed that.
Yeah, oh,
that's
yeah.
a fascinating.
Check it
phenomenon.
out. If I mean, well, you won't be in the path, but
Well, if I scrooch on down to Cleveland,
oh yeah, and it'll happen in your lifetime. Don't worry. The next
do you
one's
well,
know?
that's
like,
making a lot of
Ah,
assumptions.
6 years is a long time. We could all be
They-
dead.
well, in your lifetime, but it'll be 2026. I think is the next one. actually.
Is it? What
God
did
damn
it say
that
on
got
there?
me.
It's going to be that quick? That's only 2 years.
I don't remember. Yeah, well, but
2024.
maybe it's not a totality,
Mm, I
you
don't
know.
I don't know, but I got a bummer of a friend in the chat that's saying, Buffalo, it's April. Sun? Like it's going to be overcast.
Oh,
Well,
right.
I'll take my chances, and if it's shitty there, I'll run up to Niagara Falls.
Well, it'll still get darker, right?
Well, it'll get darker. It will. It's going to happen. I'm not going to let anybody
next-
deter me from wanting to enjoy this because the last one I did not.
Full solar eclipses occur every year or 2 or 3. Oh, that's every year or 2 or 3.
Well,
I
then
hate
why
when-
is this one 6?
Yeah.
That reminds me of when people are talking about percentages, like Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, always
Mhm.
goes, he's ahead in the polls by 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80%. It's like, hold on a second. What you just said 20 and then you got to 80 somehow. I hate that. So
It's a
in a year or
massive
2 or 3 or
range.
4 or 10 or 12 years, often in the middle of nowhere, like the South Pacific or Antarctica, the next total solar eclipse is 2026, and it will grace the northern fringes of Greenland, Iceland, and Spain. Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's have a
I'm
party.
down.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not flying anymore.
You don't
if I
want to go to
have
Iceland? We got plenty of time. To plan this out.
Okay, I'll
Actually,
tell
let's
you
go
the
to
truth.
Spain. What am I
I
talking
would like
about?
to go to Iceland. I would like to go to Alaska. I would like to go to Greenland. I mean, there's places I would like to see the
I'd
I'd
northern
like to go
lights.
to Antarctica. I figure
I'd
I
go to
could
either
set up
one
a
of those
base
and
out
not
there
come
in a
back.
couple decades.
You want a base
me throw
there,
this at you.
Andrea?
Oh yeah.
North America
got a
won't see
nephew.
another one until 2033, by the way.
Of this.
And it'll just be
Okay,
Alaska.
you got it on your.
So 2044, Western Canada, Montana, and North Dakota.
Okay, that's.
Oh, there we
2040
go.
We're looking at
five.
extinction territory.
Yeah,
U.S.
2044.
That's yeah. 2045, it'll be the whole country, and everyone's gonna be like, "Are you kidding? There is no sky."
It's gonna be the day after tomorrow.
That's
right.
I mean, a week
Jesus.
after
Oh shit!
I think
I have a
yeah.
nephew who is currently testing to be a captain, like an actual captain of a ship. Unfortunately, it's on the ships he will sail are on the Great Lakes. Well, not sail, operate. Will be on the Great Lakes. So we have 2 years to convince this young rascal to get on the sea to take us to Greenland.
Oh, I see. Okay, that would be.
That's, I think, the
I don't
most
like
practical
cruise
plan.
ships, but not typically.
How do you feel about cargo containers?
I could get down with a cargo container.
Listen,
There
I
you
don't
go.
even leave here. But did you guys see that big?
What
Did
on
we
earth?
talk about this on the show already? That gigantic cruise ship, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at
Uh,
Andrea. Yeah, we did talk
we?
about
I
that.
think we did. Yeah.
That hideous huge thing that 9,000 people. Yes, we did talk about it. That's right.
Andrea's in solo
Did.
mode.
I
just
know.
so
I
you
see it. I
She
could get
doesn't
up and
know.
take a
I don't know if
stretch.
she knows.
I am incensed, as you can tell.
I'll take up
Yeah,
and get
I
a,
mean,
take
look
a
at
stretch.
her facial expression. Wait a minute, is that still the picture?
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
Andrea's
think
picture looks like from another planet.
I think being on a cruise ship sounds gross. I think being on
Yes.
one with 9,000 people is the worst.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
pretty bad. Pretty
The
bad.
older I get, the less appeal I feel for that.
How do you feel about groups of people in general?
I hate groups.
Not-
Jesus
not
Christ.
Thrill.
This is a freebie.
Well, in this point in life, I sometimes don't see another human for a week or more, other
Oh,
than
man.
on the screens. I don't
Yeah,
care. I'm
in the
happy.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm happy
deeply
this way.
jealous.
There was
Who needs them?
Don't be jealous.
there
I
was a
hate
Mardi
jealousy.
Gras parade yesterday. Actually, get this.
Yeah, where's Looney Tunes, by the way?
There was
Talk
yeah, I don't
about
know. I haven't
Mardi
seen
Gras.
it tonight. There was a Mardi Gras parade, and this is in New
Andrew's
Orleans, you
peeking.
guys.
Yes.
Guess who had a float in the parade? Of all people,
Ron DeSantis. No.
FEMA.
Oh, FEMA?
Ooh,
Really?
ooh, ooh,
Oh
ooh.
boy.
Yeah, but
Advertising.
yeah, but nobody saw because they never showed up.
Oh, damn it, Matt.
I don't get it.
You got us.
They didn't show up.
Yeah, neither did New Orleans. bum.
Jeez. Oh shit,
aid,
we're
I
starting
guess.
early.
Is that a
Early.
joke about the
Oh,
dead
yeah.
people
That-
from Hurricane Katrina?
No, it's about FEMA sucking. Or mine was.
They're
Jake's
not going to
was
suck
about-
once Nicholas finishes his PhD and he gets a job with FEMA.
Look at
Our
this
Nicholas
show
Humphrey.
making fun of dead people who can't defend
Well,
themselves.
making fun of a
of
flood.
FEMA, to be fair.
Yeah.
Making
I'll
fun
take
of
a whack at
people
those,
that
dead
let other
people, sure.
people die, also known as murder.
Yeah, well, I'll make
I
fun of
wouldn't
those
go
dead
that
people
far
just
as
It's
because
almost
they
as
as-
bad as
as-
making fun of the deaf, which I would never do.
I believe you.
I got nothing now that
Andrea.
I'm under pressure.
Mm.
Here we go.
Boom.
Praise for Matt.
Vindication. Boom. Good God. Wait a minute. What, can we see that Morbius dragon thing again?
Yeah.
He's swole as hell. I had no idea. Look at that. Oh, the guy's got arms like tree trunks.
Be nice.
I'm gonna. I was gonna be real mouthy earlier. Now I'm not
He's-
so sure.
He's very generous, thank goodness.
Yeah, he
Oh, mother
gives
of pearl.
he gives memberships. I'm not even with it tonight. I'm damn.
He's like quarter
Memberships.
Polish, quarter Swedish, quarter Dutch, quarter Winnebago.
Winnebago.
I stole that from hunter gatherers, but it's worth it. He's a big guy. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
My for me, like we had a lot of like controlled burns in the area recently.
Mhm.
And I feel like it messed up my lungs. Like my right lung is stronger than my left lung, I feel like, and I keep saying, "You guys belong together. Come on."
Did they tell you it was going to happen in your community at first, so you could take precautions?
Nope.
It was just done. See, now that's where I would complain
So
because
pissed. 'Cause I
yeah,
went out
Yeah.
to play tennis, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And we were out there for like 3 seconds, and I had PTSD from
Jesus.
the Colorado wildfires for
Mhm.
the last 20 some years. I went to the Nikki
yeah.
Haley rally on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
it was smoked out.
Oh.
It sucked.
Well, that's
Everyone was
pretty
like,
awful.
"Oh my god!" And of course, all she wanted to do was talk about Joe Biden's age because that report came out the night before.
Oh.
Ooh.
So you would have worn a mask if you had known outside, like I had to
I
gardening from
wouldn't
the
have gone
Canadian wildfire.
outside.
Okay.
I just wouldn't have gone out.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's kind of weird that the community doesn't. Do
Not
you
here.
not get the local little, Hooterville paper?
No, you're allowed to burn trash in your yard here. So,
But you
like,
said controlled burn.
yeah,
It wasn't.
but anybody could be doing that.
Oh, it
next door,
wasn't
like,
for wildfire
This time
management.
it was,
Okay.
and that's why it lasted several days. Usually, it's just some jerk in the neighborhood, and it lasts all day.
Okay. I burn stuff here, but only paper that has no ink or anything, and I have a burn pit
The only thing I burn
because
are
I've done the
books.
benefit analysis of driving to the dump or recycling it and trucks and carrying it. So I just say screw it and I burn it. And I know it's terrible, but I do.
I have seen people with piles of trash in their yard, tires, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that is not burnable
and they
here.
they're
That's
standing around having beers while it
That's
burns, and I'm like,
horrible.
you people are just the
That's
dumbest,
noxious, stupid.
stupidest.
And that's legal where you are. See, where I am, that is definitely
Sitting
illegal.
around and
South
drinking
Carolina.
and watching the
Yeah.
tires burn.
South Carolina will pay other or will charge other states for their waste, for their toxic waste and stuff. They're
Mm.
like, yeah, you can dump it here. You got to pay us though.
Jesus. Well,
The
rural
fucking
states and
toxic
rural.
waste dump of the
Yeah.
U.S.
Oh, there's a lot of them, Andrea.
Yeah.
Your town is
And also
sounding-
small towns.
More and more like Springfield from The Simpsons.
Right. But, and it's funny because you'll see articles that are like safest and or least safest and least healthy place to live, but everyone's moving there
Because it's affordable.
and that's just because everything else isn't
Or
affordable. That's how they
freedom.
should be saying it. Yeah.
Freedom.
Well, and it's so, I mean, it's ironic because they're like, oh yeah, you don't need like a license or a permit or any background checks to get guns, and you can have them. Everyone has them all the time, everywhere. It doesn't matter. But like, I just feel like it doesn't. I feel like it for the most part that diffuses the situation. When it doesn't, it makes it worse.
Mhm.
But I think that it's like, why are you all armed up? Because you're worried about people with guns? Because you all have them. You know what I mean? It's so stupid to me. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a gun because I'm worried that everyone has them. Then we should change the law to make sure
No.
everyone has them. Oh, okay. Because that's not stupid, right? That's the
Right.
dumbest
One of my
fucking thing. It makes
favorite
me so mad.
things
No,
about
I
dummies
agree.
owning
Look
guns
at
is when their kids get a hold of the
Missouri.
guns and then kill
Yeah.
themselves or other classmates. That's one
Right.
of my favorite
They,
outcomes.
you should be required to have
A
liability insurance.
license and insurance. Why?
Liability.
Right. A license like driving a car and liability is right. I would pay it if I had to, an insurance policy for these.
not-
And I don't have them because I'm afraid of other people with guns. I have them because my husband bought them and left them for me. So
Not
he's gone.
even-
They're
not
not.
even liability insurance as like a second order thing, like as a way to make it more expensive or this or that. Literally because the outcomes are predictable. And
Yeah, right.
it is predictable
Yeah.
that with a certain number of guns in the area, there will be a
Mhm.
certain number of accidents / whatever that literally need financial compensation for. Like, for example, when you accidentally shoot the neighbor and their leg gets blown off and they have tens of thousands of hospital bills. Yeah, I think liability insurance should be required. Absolutely.
I heard somebody recently jokingly say owning a gun is your natural born right. But he joked around saying that term because people say that for real.
Fanatical.
What they mean is like, you're born with the right to take life. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
or I guess they would spin that to be defend your life, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
No. I understand.
What people are like, what are you
Yeah.
most scared of? I'm like, a gun in my own hands.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's totally. I don't want that level of responsibility. Good God.
Well, not a
Holding knives
maybe
is
not a
already scary
handgun.
enough.
No
Handguns.
guns. No guns in my hands. I'm not going to be responsible for that shit.
Right.
Even if it is in self-defense, I'm not taking anybody's life. Are you kidding?
I held
No,
an
I'll-
AK-47.
I
once,
never
it was
have.
pretty scary.
I'll beat the hell out of somebody if I have to, but I'm not going to kill anybody. Good Lord.
No.
But some people need to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
I
I'm just
honestly,
kidding.
I am of that belief. I am unironically of that belief. I think for some people, and myself is the prime example. It's God damn it, Andrea! I just saw your picture. I think
don't know what
that's
you're
a
talking
healthy
about.
thing. The occasional, your old pal Jake, it does him good to get his bell rung once in a while.
We had this
It's actually a good picture.
Jake, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to just briefly allude to the chat we had the other night, or
Oh,
that
please
we
do,
had
yeah.
a chat the other night.
I love this stuff. Tease
So it's like 10 p.m. Saturday night. I'm going to have a video call with Jake. And right before it started, I asked myself, Jake going to be wearing a t-shirt right now? Or is he going to be in a tie? This guy comes on, shirt and tie.
Shirt and tie.
And I was like, wow, that is not like
Shirt and
a
tie.
gimmick. That is
Oh,
not
yeah.
like a thing he does for his show. This man is wearing a tie from waking to sleeping time, right?
Yeah, I've napped in a shirt and tie. I'll go one further.
That's how they did it in the 60s.
He goes to the doctor
yeah,
and like,
baby.
can you just get undressed for your exam? The tie as well, please. That's awesome. All right, well,
It works for
for you.
Jake. It works for Jake.
Oh, it just feels right. It's one of those things,
How old were you when you learned how to tie it properly?
32.
Oh, you
No, I'm
remember.
kidding. I
Oh.
was obviously born with the innate knowledge of how to tie it. When I was
Oh,
born,
shit. Look at Andrea's
the-
picture.
The salesman from the suit section of J.C. Penney held me up, and it was nya, 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 ma.
Oh, that's too funny.
The
my
Coles
God.
with their pleated pants were showing up. It was, yeah. And that's the thing. It'll never be like if I won the lottery, it still wouldn't be like a fancy, like a $5,000 suit or some insane thing. Like the thing that feels right
No.
is specifically a reasonably priced suit and tie. I can't
Do
get
you-
over how good how much I'm digging Andrea's drawing though. If I'm real with you,
I mean, a tie is pretty comfortable now that you talk about it.
yeah, you just been adding bits, man. You made it more expressive. You got the glasses on it.
Yeah,
Tossed
we
on
we
a
got
tie there.
we got the twins here. Your old pal Jake and your young pal Jake.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
look, he's
no.
got one. I don't have one. And anyway, what
That's
would I
my,
have?
Garbage pail.
That's my garbage pail
Yeah.
left of Andrea.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
I
show
like
it,
it.
but like it's on the screen. I have no way of showing the
Look at
screen.
I have none. It's boring. Where's
You
my
should
avatar?
be able to edit that.
I can.
Yeah,
How
you
do you
should be
do
able to.
that?
Click the three dots next and next to your name or in that box with your name on it. Where you see yourself, and then it'll give you the option.
I'm looking. Okay, wait a second.
Matt,
Go ahead. Oh, edit avatar. Edit audio avatar?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
shoot!
it.
I just bumped my mic. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
I got something I'll bring
Yeah,
in.
no one heard.
Have some
them,
fun with this.
But we did hear the apology, and yikes.
If I can find something.
Ooh, Snixabia. You know what? I might do a stream like a call-in show, but it's a suit and tie party. Like you have to show up wearing something fancy or making fun of people wearing something fancy. Either or. Oh, that's
nice.
cute.
Very nice.
Little bumblebee.
Good, I'm going to stand up and stretch. Well,
Oh, poor Matt. What's this new drawing style, man? I've seen you draw in multiple styles, and you were doing
Yes.
Bruce Timm for your interviews until recently.
Yes.
You announced you'd be doing a different one.
Yes. Oh,
When am I
what
going to
is
see
it?
it? When are you?
Oh.
Yeah, when are you premiering it? Because I
Well,
saw Bruce Timm last time I looked.
members of the channel have seen it.
Mother F.
Some of it on the community tab. I can, yeah, I should start rolling it out because I have guests
like the
coming
bee.
up. Yeah, it's good. I have guests coming up who will, yeah, I'll advertise it. So what I wanted to do was I have two things.
Yeah.
I was testing them out, and I tested out 3 or 4 different ones. I was like, I like these two, so I'll just do that. Some people I see in like an action pose. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's always like with their foot like here,
Mm-hmm.
like coming
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
And the other one is, I don't know why. I see him in sort of like
Oh,
that, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a French line art kind of where they're just sitting at like a cafe with a mug. I don't know why.
Oh,
So,
that would be very. I would enjoy that quite a bit.
but I think that I'm not going to color these because part of the deal is I want to draw them. I'm rushing and I hate
Mm.
that. Being quick, being fast and loose, that's one thing. Rushing, I don't like it. And I want to be able to focus on the interview more. So I'm
Yeah.
going to spend the amount of time I would inking and coloring, just inking. And it's more dynamic or
Mhm.
more whimsical. And then add their name to it or their show. Put that on there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because recently, like
Yeah.
Dr. Jared Ball was using his
thank you.
as his thumbnails on his channel. And a lot of people use them in their avatars and on their social media. So I was like, why not just slap their name on there or at least give them room for that, you know?
That's
So
awesome.
that's what I'm going to do. But the Bruce Timm thing was really because I wanted them all to end up in one group image, which I'm putting together now. And it's not like, oh, certain people are allowed to be in there or not allowed to be in there. It's just I ran out of room, like trying to move them all around. I was like, okay, pretty
Oh, yeah.
soon it's not going to be worth having anyone in there because you don't know who the hell they are unless they're in the front row. And that's not really fair. So anyway,
All right.
That's why I did that. But
I
yeah, I
do
mean,
think it's a really good idea just from a marketing perspective. Like, especially if you're doing phases of different styles of art,
Mhm.
because it tells you immediately, like, oh, I know roughly when that interview happened, or like
good
they're
point.
from the season 1 of Letter Hack, etc.
Good point. Yeah, it's a good
You
point.
could do
Ooh.
something like that with clothing. Like everyone from a certain era has a color pin or something.
Oh yeah. Did you see that T-shirt I'm thinking about putting out? I mod for Letterhack.
Oh, that's a good
Really?
idea. That's a good
Everybody,
idea.
yeah, that's everybody much, but that's
think-
great.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's so
fun.
nice.
That's fun.
I would buy that shirt.
Yeah, that's
And-
cool.
I thought it'd be funny if people who didn't even mod had it, because all you gotta do is pop in the chat and you will be a mod.
Yeah,
Or put on
That
go-go
easy.
boots.
I
or
know that was
something,
such a
you know,
good idea.
Change the meaning.
Yeah, I might put it out. So I did this whole new venue for print on demand, right? I'm using a whole new thing other
Mhm.
than what's the other one? Redbubble? It's so lame. So I'm using a whole new one, and I was like, let me see, what number of subscribers do I need before I can link this to my YouTube? And you need 10,000.
Damn.
Well, isn't that stupid though? Because they could be getting sales right now.
Yeah,
Why does it have to be?
I
There's
don't
no
understand it.
there's no contractual agreement or obligation on either party's end. There's no money involved. It's just you give me the chance to sell shit on YouTube or not. Why
Right.
10,000? Or
Wait, you need
or-
10,000?
Yeah.
You can do it through my
subs, yeah.
channel if you want.
Ha ha.
Oh, that's cool.
But that I don't understand that. Like I understand most of what YouTube does. Not that I agree with all of it, but I at least follow the logic. On that one, I don't, because
Right.
I do understand
Yeah.
why you wouldn't let everybody have a monetized account, and keep the
Sure.
barrier for entry quite small so you avoid bots. But once monetized, why different levels? That to me is very strange.
Yeah, and then with somebody like my channel that relies on art, like it just makes sense to be able to sell stuff through the channel, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can link up to it, but
I don't do it. I didn't do it. I just had coffee cups made, and I mailed them out myself. They were shipped here. It was a lot of work though, but I mailed them out myself through the Buy Me a Coffee when people did that. When I first got that, it was cute. The coffee
So-
cup you have. Yeah, but I
I-
can't. It's too much work now. I can't do it anymore. And I'm not a. Yeah, exactly.
I
A lot of
set up
people got that.
a
Where
whole
I
I
am-
shop.
have 2 left.
yeah,
I set up a whole shop on my website.
Yes,
and-
I
and
did. Oop,
Well, yeah, I did as well, and then
no.
bounced the check to pay for my website,
Oh.
and got it temporarily taken down.
Oh god. See,
Your
I
old
would
pals
have to pay
trying.
property or sales tax
Oh, I didn't know.
if I
Yeah.
if I did anything like, even if somebody else made them and I shipped them, I'd have to pay a retail tax.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
don't want to sell things.
anyway, but I've got all kinds of like new merch and stuff, and I just don't. I guess I can
Well,
roll
you're
it
an
out. but-
artist. It's different. You've got interesting, you have a reason to do that. I didn't. I don't really. What kind of merch am I going to sell? I have to fix I've got to redo the logo because I'm tired of looking at coffee house as 2 words on the logo.
Oh yeah.
But that was made in 2016 by my friend Mindy, and I've kept with it. I didn't want to
Wait.
change it.
I'll be right back.
So-
Mindy from
Please
New York.
continue.
Mindy.
No, a girl, Mindy from California, Mindy Dunham, and she used
Okay.
to do a lot with Real Progressives. She did a lot of their artwork and their filming, their video stuff back then, and she
sounds
did a
like a
really
good
nice job. But she lost all of the art that she had for the channel. She did so much for us. She lost it in some kind of computer crash or whatever. She lost some of the stuff. So I would have to do it over. And I was thinking about doing a new logo anyway. I love
Yeah.
ours with the B. I really like it, but I just want to fix the wording. So Christopher, you will do it. Christopher Spavin said he would do my
Don't
rebranding.
change the branding too much.
No, I just want to fix the
good.
word coffee house.
Yeah, I
I
like that
don't
branding.
want, yeah, but she lost the template. So I have to do it over. And I hope I can, make it look the same. I
Um,
probably
I bet
can.
you can.
Yeah, I'll just fix the word in Canva. That's all.
So I had a
Alright.
job where I wore a tie, just about every day, but I was looking pretty sharp.
How you
And
doing?
people were always like, "What's with the tie?" And I felt like saying, "You wear fucking shorts to the office. You're in flip-flops, asshole. We
Oh,
all can
God.
tell you've given up completely. I'm doing the opposite." Is that a good enough explanation for your lazy, sloppy punk ass? Like I
As
used to
a short
always want to say
defender,
that.
I want to defend those that go to work in shorts.
I mean, it's basically okay to do whatever you want, but if you're gonna call me out, look at
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it's a live and let live. But if you're not gonna do that, you got to be ready to take some shots yourself. Because come
Yeah.
on now.
And in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, like I would wear a jacket to dinner, and people are like, "What's the occasion?" I'm like, "You are so backwoods."
Sure.
Oh, I'd want to say that. I really don't
once
care.
in a while, it's nice
but-
to look nice. I like to look nice. I like to look good and dressed, but I have all my clothes left over.
I
from me
mean, where I'm
forever.
at
I don't
now-
have to ever buy anything new.
It's over 100 and humid outside, and older guys are wearing jackets to dinner. It's a pretty big deal.
Hell yeah.
Oh, these
mean,
pictures are
in-
great, Andrea.
They really are.
To have
In the
fun.
immortal words of Jadena, which I quote every chance I get, I don't want my best dressed day
The
in the
shorts.
casket.
Yes,
It's fun.
Good
It's
call.
fun. Just get gussied up. Why not? F it.
Yeah,
That-
well, I have a lot of clothes left over from career days and tops, even like this top. Probably everything I have is old, but I have
Well,
it,
you're-
and
see-
now it's fitting again, which is really good since finally I've said goodbye, miserable marriage, COVID, wait. I want to be myself again, and I am. So it's good.
Oh, mercy.
Well,
Um,
that happened to a lot of people.
So,
You
Jake,
look like
are you
Hermione Granger in that. Sorry.
wearing a tie right now?
I am.
Even though he can't have, he's not on the camera.
It's amazing.
But I bet
This
he
fucker's
doesn't
lying.
shower. He
Prove
doesn't.
it. Prove it.
Yeah, you're sitting there in your shorts, and that's it.
Jake's like a never nude, but he can't take the tie off instead of something else.
It's basically that because I'm also wearing a turtleneck sweater. I'm wearing that black turtleneck, but underneath it, for warmth, I have the shirt. But since I have the shirt on, why not? I've got the tie.
Turtlenecks are itchy. I don't know. They bug me.
This one is like wearing a hug from your mother. It's so lovely.
Matt, are you a turtleneck person, or were you a turtleneck person?
No, not
No.
really.
Andrea,
I don't know.
you like turtlenecks?
I don't have
I
anything
thought you were gonna
against
say,
it.
Not a
were
fan
you
of
before you turned
turtlenecks.
10?
No, me neither.
I used to do the
But I used to wear those cowl necks in the day. The big thing, the cowl neck sweaters where they flopped over and laid like this. They wouldn't come
Oh.
all the way up. I guess they
That's
still
kind of what
have
this
them.
is.
I did the
Yours is a cowl neck?
I think so. It's what I was wearing yesterday.
Oh, I'll have to
It was
look.
comfy. What were you saying, man? I'm sorry.
I used to do the cable knit sweaters with that the collar like kind of rolled
Yes.
down, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. I'm not in that climate anymore.
That's fair. Oh, the comments to me are so daunting. I cannot look at them during the show. I'm
looking.
hugely impressed with people that can.
I just jumped
But-
into Andrea's chat.
Did you? Let's go say hi to everybody there. Okay. I will say, Andrea, Reflect the Sun. Hi, Alicia and Snicks, Tyler, Gary. Yeah, it's good to see everybody.
Yeah, my cable knit
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah,
a fisherman
yeah.
sweater. It was very authentic. I love it. I still have it, but
Your cable net.
yeah. I'm
Your
just
Martha's
responding to
Vineyard
the
sweater?
chat.
I will
Well,
ask.
it was blue, not white.
All right, wait, more. Andrew's got more.
There was So I was telling a story briefly in my lie detector episode tonight about how Heidi Klum was staring at me as I was walking across Soho in Manhattan. And at the time, and I said one of the reasons was I may have been because I was wearing white denim.
I
Like
mean, that
white
would have got
jeans.
got me. I'd be staring
Fucking
right
what?
next to you.
Yeah, I was pretty fashion forward when I had that job. And
Hell yeah.
it was awesome. It was
Right.
like it was fun for me to like select what I was gonna wear. It didn't always have to be like, oh, I work in an office, I need to dress this way. I need to wear a tie. It was like, no, today I choose to wear a tie because it's gonna be part of this ensemble. That
Right.
was really
Oh.
fun for me. I had fun with that.
Yeah.
It ended up
I know.
being fun. It started out as a place where people were judging each other and like if you didn't show some effort or consideration, people would like, look down on you. And I thought that was really negative, but I was like, man, I could play this fucking game. And then I got into it and I was like, it's actually really fun. So I don't know. I miss going out to a job or being around people and I don't know,
I understand.
there's something
it's been a
cool
long
about
time.
it. Yeah.
I did it for 22 years of business apparel and suits and dress, professional dress.
I mean, I've been wearing the same like camouflage shorts for a week now, and
Yeah, but we're staying home. I don't
Same.
I don't do much either. I have like, the same old crap.
I have like 21 pairs of Adidas tennis shoes. I wear them like one a day for 21 days and then repeat. And this just seems ridiculous. It's like a collection at this point.
Yeah, but
I just
one of
ordered
the
a new pair today.
but problems with fashion now, they call it fast fashion, is the
Yeah, that's bad.
materials never go away.
It's wasteful too. Yeah.
Don't you ever think
it's-
about like they make
yeah.
clothes with plastic?
Yeah.
I love wearing plastic.
I bought
I'm wearing
Um,
plastic right now.
yeah.
Actually.
I bought a pair of jeans from a company called Outer Known. These are the most sustainably made denim
Okay,
in
what
the
is
world.
it? What are they made with, hemp? Because if they're not hemp,
No, it's cotton, but it's just
Okay.
they use the least amount of water.
so if
Huh.
you
While
put them in the
making-
backyard, they would compost.
I don't know about that, but,
Put you on the spot.
but
Hey, listen, I'm no one to talk. Nothing I have. I have purplish
not-
hair.
it's not like they suddenly know how to make jeans
Right.
perfectly. It's just
Right.
most sustainable way, and they're I mean it's like $180 fucking dollars. It's not cheap. So
oh my
yeah, for one pair. But
my God.
the theory is you only need one pair,
Okay.
right? Why would you need a whole bunch of jeans? So maybe a couple if you're going out all the time.
You
I'm
got a
not.
point.
I'm down to one pair. So
Back in
I
the
like the
day,
jeans.
we wore Levi's. When I went to high school, everybody wore Levi's, and they were just
501s.
yeah, they were hard. They were really whatever that material was. They weren't unsustainable except for the dye.
It was
But-
just raw denim, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I wore those. They were the uniform.
Now,
would like
there are
some
people
nice
who
jeans.
will travel countrysides, go to barns, ranches, and say, "Can I just look around in your junk?" And they'll find like a chest with a pair of Levi's from like
Yeah.
the 30s or 40s. They
That's
still do
cool.
that,
Yeah.
and they're like,
That's
"Look
cool.
at this shit." Just sitting here. I got some Adidas today that are remakes of an old pair. You can buy them used for like $210. The originals used.
200. I'm sorry. That
The
would
used
never.
ones. Yeah. From like the
Looney
80s.
Tunes.
Like isn't that wild? You could buy shoes that
Yes.
somebody else wore in the 80s for $200.
Oh my god. I truly, there might be in my future like how Sam Cedar eventually did Cedar Seeds as a as a side hustle. Looney Tunes. It takes a lot of
Cedar
working to get here. How we got here. We got to this mental space. But I love it. But like Sam Cedar's side hustle, I might do a clothing line, and literally just like the stuff that is too specific to my desires to expect a company to fulfill, like
I
a
would love to do a
sustainable,
clothing line. That would be
cheap,
great.
washable suit.
What would you design, Andrea?
Yeah.
Got to keep it secret, otherwise
Oh.
people will steal my ideas.
Oh. Well, I bet you'd be pretty creative at it. You were a good cook, you know? So I think you'd probably be creative at anything, any endeavor you took.
I try.
Yeah.
I mean,
Andrea's
you're knocking
clothes.
out of the park with this drawing here.
Andrea, are you thinking about t-shirts, hoodies, a wide variety of things? Is this like outerwear? Is it what they call streetwear? Is it loungewear? Are you
G-strings,
just doing
lingerie.
socks? Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm thinking I want something in the outdoor pajama territory.
Ooh. I dig it.
Outdoor pajama.
Yeah. Yeah.
What on earth?
No, there I understand exactly because I have
So-
outdoor pajamas.
So like ponchos, like
Yeah.
hooded ponchos that you can wear to bed, but also like just outside with leggings or shorts.
Not with the whole thing, either or, no change.
It's like
You
a
just go to the
onesie.
store, you could function in the same outfit outside or inside.
My
It
guess.
has to be extremely like silky, smooth on the skin.
Mm.
You can have
Viscose.
colorful kind of designs on it, but it's
Doing
got to be
viscose,
extremely comfortable.
right?
Like what?
Synthetic viscose is a synthetic polyester using wood pulp. Best kind is bamboo wood pulp.
Huh.
Yeah. Is it the
if
same
I-
stuff they put in grated cheese?
They
You
actually
tell me,
do.
I don't
That's
know.
so maddening.
Yes, it is. It's cellulose. It's wood. I'd never buy that shit. Oh
Do
my
you guys
God.
feel like they're like maybe a generation not so long from now is going to be looking at the way we live in the same way we looked at the way people in the 1860s lived? Like, can you believe they would just eat like pig guts and human fingers out of a factory?
I think
Human
things-
fingers.
I
Whatever
think as
fell
we
in
go
the- Jake!
forward, things become more acceptable. Like everything becomes more acceptable as we go forward. Like, we'll do that and this. And if it gets worse, that's fine. It can get worse. Do you know what I mean?
My theory is
Yeah.
that we've been I think we can only do that until we reach a point where it's literally not sustainable.
Oh,
And-
that is it's all going to fall apart.
Oh yeah, and I think when that happens, there will be changes to fix it, and we'll either succeed or not. But the generations that live in a environment where humans are less contributing to their own demise, I think are going to turn around and immediately ask the question: how the hell did these people put up with this? How did these people eat wood pulp? They were eating wood pulp for years. And
Better
nobody,
living through chemistry, Jake.
I think about that
just-
with a lot of things in the food industry.
Yeah, I think we should be conscious of it now, not so that we can change it. I mean, we should change it if we can, but so that we can provide an explanation to future generations and say, like, I was conscious of the fact that there was wood pulp in my cheese and PFAS in the water, and
Well, that's huge.
Yeah, but like, just try to put down our thoughts on this. So if
Your
future
options are
historian
drink
can-
leaded water from the tap or microplastic PFAS from the bottle. Pick your poison.
I think that's the answer right
That's why
there.
I reuse this glass bottle. Just reuse
Boom.
it.
Is that a
Over and over.
kombucha bottle? Is that what-
Well, it's an old one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've been
I
using
have that
it
same
for-
one.
Oh,
The
I use
twofold
it.
questions.
I use
Why
it
wasn't there
over-
systematic change, and how did you get by before the change finally happened? Yeah.
Oh, so this is like a hypothetical future.
Yeah,
where change
hypothetically, if
happens?
there is going to be a change. If,
Well, there'll be
if,
that, or the future historians will be whatever evolves after us.
living under a dome.
We're gonna be the
Yeah.
dinosaurs for like
Sorry.
some future AI synthetic civilization.
That actually
Oh.
sounds
Yeah,
pretty
well,
rad.
Sandy, what do they call those? Living under a dome? What do they call those? Because that is not a bad idea. The
Pioneered by Pauly Shore.
You mean once we destroy the natural habitats
Biosphere.
of the whole Earth,
No, I'm
make
now.
a biosphere?
This is what we should do.
Okay, let's hear this geoengineering
People are always talking about
genius.
co-ops. People are
I've been
always
waiting for
talking
this.
about communes and communists and all that stuff. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Fire up the biodome. Let's get
Biomists.
like a couple hundred people. Go live. Go coexist. Have farms, housing, whatever.
I'm totally down to live
Whatever
in the
you
dome.
manufacture and export to the rest of the world, you live in a biodome. You live
in.
in an isolated environment where
I'm
it's
in.
as perfect as you can make it.
Sign me up.
Andrea?
So an over the
ready
ground
for-
bunker.
A besuited neighbor.
No, just like
I know. I'm messing with you.
like
I'm trying
I mean,
to get this whole concept, how it's going to work, run, be energized. But I guess it's been theorized, so there's probably writings on it already.
I'm just saying the world we live in is
Yeah.
a terrible environment to remain in. And people will joke about biospheres in terms of like, you know, science fiction, right?
Right.
Well,
For those
are we there yet? I
survivors-
think we're there. I think
for
the
those
science
survivors-
nonfiction time is now, right?
I think we can make
Yeah.
a biodome.
There was an experiment where there were scientists that lived in that kind of environment. But I think it was in, I don't know if it was the Arctic or the Antarctic. I can't pull it up out of my head. Anybody in my chat know? 2 years they lived in it and grew food and
Yeah,
did
see,
the whole
but why
thing.
why are they there? That seems like a really harsh environment.
Well,
Like
I
it could go. I feel like
don't
it
know
could
what-
go.
Maybe it
wrong.
wasn't. I could be mixing up where
Like,
this particular was, but it was 2 years.
Like you're at
Test
risk
living
of.
for Mars.
You have all the same risks you have now: fire, tornado, all that stuff. But the risk of just being exposed is
They got it.
greater every day.
It
So
was in
if-
Arizona.
So if you were
course.
in, and I don't know how you build a glass plastic dome. I don't know what this is, right? Like I'm just the idea guy.
You're
I'm not
free
the engineer.
associating. Well, of course, and it would have to be radioactive, radio nucleotide proof because if meltdowns occur, how do you keep the radioactive particles out?
But there would have to be a means of. There was a picture I saw one time. It was pretty cool. There has to be a way, is my point. There has to be a way that people can, I think this is gonna be one of those things where people are like, oh shit, this idea they've known how to do this practically for a long time. They just haven't. I think it's
just
gonna be
want-
one of those things.
I want the lefties to.
I would never live in a dome, I don't think. Go ahead.
You can
before-
leave.
I just want lefties to get in.
Just
on it
can't come back?
before the billionaires do, and say like, "Oh, well, actually, it's only for the rich now." Survival.
Oh, that's where
It's
it's
a-
going. What are you kidding?
Pauly Shore films aside, yes, Andrea, yeah,
Jeez.
Pauly.
Oh,
Shore
look,
films.
she's got it. We've got our bunker. Oh, look at that. Is that the one that I was referencing?
Goddamn,
I would
Andrea,
live in
good
that
job.
dome.
I think this
I
is
would too.
fake, but
Oh,
Sign me up. I'm in.
AI. It looks like
The
a
thing I'm-
hotel.
Interested in is just getting like living
Mm.
in a place with solar panel infrastructures. Like I would build a neighborhood around solar panels or or a windmill.
Well, that's how it should be. It should be on
Yeah.
homes and not taking up farmland. It should be.
Absolutely.
It should have changed. That we're in the corporate model of solar instead of the outfitting people's homes and saving our asses.
actually, that biosphere is
Where was
apparently
it?
real.
It is? Where was
Oh.
it? It reminded me of a hotel. It really did.
So it looks like Andrea was locked out because she didn't commit to the suit. Obviously, that was her trying to get into
The
my
shorts
biodome.
were too much.
Yep. No knees allowed.
Arizona.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what Anti Corpus said in the chat. He knew it. He's bright. He knows everything. Yeah,
He
he's
really is a sharp
that's he
fella,
says
man.
that's why they're dumping millions into robots, Pinky.
But this is the thing.
I'm
it's
not
like,
gonna be here.
it's
Fuck
like you
that.
you automatically hear all this rejection and it's not practical and you shouldn't do it. There's nothing about
I'm
the
not telling
world.
everybody not to do it.
No,
I'm
not
just
you.
not gonna be
Not
part
you.
of it.
I'm just saying, whenever this comes up, like in a greater setting, and this is partially the reason why it never does. People say it's not practical or it doesn't, it's too expensive or it would never work for a million reasons. Our society doesn't fucking work now.
As it is, yeah.
It's not safe. It's dangerous as hell. You can't go to a parade, right? We're
Right,
we're
like
0
today.
days without incident every day for everything. So like,
How would it be governed? How would it stop from being a
ask
cult?
the fucking communist, I guess. You know, this is another point of mine. Is like these people are always saying, I'm a communist. Oh, really? Because you live in a capitalist democracy. I don't understand. But if you want to be, go the fuck ahead and be. Guess what? You're still going to have to pay taxes and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But if you own the land collectively,
that is if there's a government left.
no,
Gang.
this is what I'm saying. It's self-governed, it's self-policed. You do it. I don't know how you elect people to work there or whatever, but or live there. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how these things are decided, but people are constantly talking about doing stuff like this and other means of, like, I joked around like Kowalski from Nebraska should offer up his land as a commune to all of us. All of us like MR lefties. You know what I mean? Like we all
I
just
would
go do
say
it.
I would be interested in a
Idealistic.
biodome community, but we lock the door. You can leave, but no one can enter. You see what I mean? Like if you can't take it, that's fine. You can head out, go into the wilderness, but no one's allowed in. No new disease, nothing like
Ooh.
that.
Yeah,
Completely
that's a big thing.
self-sustaining.
Big thing to take into consideration.
It's always
is
like
That's-
somebody
medical.
that's my only
somebody doing
hesitation.
it like cult style. You know, that's kind of ruins
Well,
everything.
that's
Yeah,
human
why does it have to
nature.
be a cult? Why can't we just chill, do drugs, and play video games?
And just for the record, if our government went further left than it is now, I would basically just shift along with it. Like if we became socialist, okay. If we became communist,
Yeah.
okay. I was born into capitalism, seem to be doing pretty good with that model, even though I don't like it and it works for less people, or
Well,
it
less people.
works less for the majority of people every day, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, shift, go ahead. So I'm not shitting on communism or anything, but this is where I say, you want to live in a commune, you want to have a government that's basically like just a giant co-op, everyone works for everyone, you want to have fewer people involved, biosphere.
Okay,
and
gang.
go ahead.
Not if, but when WYCD becomes a multi-million-dollar internet juggernaut, there will be a wicked commune. I will run a
Okay.
cult on it, but it will be separate from the commune, and none of you are
All
invited.
right.
'Cause
I'm
you
living on
already
my
know I'm an
commune.
idiot.
I'm gonna start a cult, and we're gonna have a cult off.
Okay, never mind. Andrea is going to be the cult leader. I will offer her commune space, but that's unrelated. But my joking aside, I will absolutely buy a load of solar panels and just give them to anybody that wants to put them on their house. There's my start. The electric commune.
There's a company out of Utah that's going around the country selling solar panels to
Really?
everyone. Yeah.
For your home.
hmm
Right.
Hmm.
They go door to door and they're like, I'm a contractor. The company's out of Utah. And like every
Oh.
house in my neighborhood now has tons of, some people have a couple
That's such a
of
good
solar
idea.
panels. Some people have like the whole roof. It looks really
Yeah.
weird. In Colorado, they did it. This company went out of business, but in Colorado, they made it so that you could roll the cost of the solar panels into your mortgage. So when you sell the house, you sell whatever you owe.
Jennifer
you
got a
never-
whole
you don't
outfit.
owe anymore.
Yeah, she got her whole thing in Colorado. She's
Yeah,
all solar.
exactly.
Huh.
If I was to do it though, it would be off grid solar because that would just be the way to do it here. I already have it planned. I just don't have the finances. And I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have 3 different energy sources here anyway, and so and our electric's not too bad. I mean, it's probably a budget greenwashing, but it is 100% carbon free living here
That's
because it's hydropower.
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so
but
happy to hear that. And side note, I freaking love the idea of essentially being like the Avon lady, but for solar panels. I want someone to be a Johnny Appleseed. I'm glad that Utah company is out there making people solar panel contractors. That actually is a good thing, a rare good piece of news.
I just wish it wouldn't take mining for all of the lithium and the things we're going to need, and it's
Oh,
like
sure.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a pessimist and negative, but it's just so it's trading one problem for another. But I believe we have to stop burning fossil fuels
I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
mean,
know, but
immediately.
but
it's
okay.
one minor problem for solving a major one, you know?
But
Net
so
gain.
this is where my mind goes. Is like they're not going to stop burning fossil fuels.
No,
That's
it's
not going to be.
not.
So we need these micro pockets of people to just, it's like, oh well, I'm reducing
Survivalists.
my carbon
Yeah.
footprint. Okay, well now I'm starting to think like it would be useful if we had like 200 or 300 people reduce their carbon footprint together at the same time in one
Pockets.
effort. And
Pockets
it
of
doesn't
clean
it doesn't
area.
have to be a biodome. It doesn't
Right.
have to be a commune. But like if whole neighborhoods got together to do this, I don't
Well,
know.
wouldn't it be the
I mean,
best
that's
thing since we're in a
less.
climate emergency for the government to be the type of
Yeah,
government that would
but
do this?
Sandy, there's
I
no
know it's.
fucking way.
I know. Did
So
you see?
Oh, but maybe
you
there
must have looked
is.
at Elliot's
hold on a
tweet.
second.
Tain't gonna happen.
But
All the
my
things that tain't
my
gonna happen.
my point is, I think in terms of whether you can affect the government or not, whether they can actually do this or not, I think that it's more realistic to get entire neighborhoods to get on board.
I
with
agree
it.
with you. Local action, local effort.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what we can have control of.
I feel like though there's so much greed in the system we live in that we can use it against itself. Like there's got the reason I'm so excited about a big company trying to greedily get people to go out and sell solar panels is I can use a big greedy company. Like what if you had such a company lobbying to get legislation passed that gives a tax break to every business that puts solar panels on its buildings? I mean, you could
Right, and
en
then
masse get that stuff done.
the next president comes in and undoes it. It's
Yeah,
just
but
like,
that doesn't take off the solar panels that have been installed, you know? And
Yeah, I
then
know.
what
Yeah,
happens?
I just-
That company is a bigger monster and it goes out and lobbies for more.
Yeah, and stop taking rural farmland and put them right on the buildings.
I just think people need to start doing this shit themselves instead of waiting for the government.
Well, it's
Both.
right.
I
It's not going to
agree.
happen,
The
but
government's
that's a
never gonna help.
that's a
Well, yeah,
utopian view, saying,
all right.
okay, we're in a climate emergency. It is time to implement. We cannot keep growing as degrowth. I know it's a pipe dream. I know it ain't gonna happen.
It's not. It remains a pipe dream so long as it's unpursued. Here's a genuine
Oh, there's
question.
plenty of people pursuing things.
Why-
Yeah, I don't know about that, Jake. That seems
Why-
pretty.
Why is the government not going to help in your estimation, Andrea?
Oh, they have a vested interest in retaining power for themselves at the expense of others, and even through a collapse would rather kill themselves and their institutions than turn them over to people willing to do something else.
Yeah, for
But
immediate
does
cash.
that power
You're such a doomer.
not take the form of essentially bribes from big oil?
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
So what do they care where their bribe comes from?
Well, it's also
Big Solar. And guess
Boom.
who owns Big Solar right now? Guess who's buying it up? Exxon and the fossil fuel industry is buying
see?
up the renewable energy industry. I'm up this shit all the time. Ugh.
So they
No,
know
but
where the future lies.
but
just
we
gotta help
know-
it along.
Well,
but
they
we're out
do.
of time. We're simply out of time. Like how long before the government is bribed into doing the right thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bribe.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's
Yep.
no time for this. It's not gonna.
Well, I'm not
I'm not being a
suggesting
doomer
to
about
not pursue the idea of
We're
of,
all gonna be doomers
individuals
soon enough.
installing it, but there's just no reason not to go
Yeah,
have
you gotta
your
do it all.
representatives saying,
You gotta
yeah, give
do it
us,
all. Yeah.
yeah,
Because at
give
some
this
point-
business tax break.
At some point, it's going to be like, it's too late now. What do we do? Rely on the people who got us here? No, we need people who can think of a way to prolong the inevitable a little bit more. So
Yeah,
I agree.
younger
We got to do it
people.
all. But
Absolutely.
there's a lot of this is what I get. This is like the only way I get critical of younger generations is when they're all talking about what's wrong with everything, and I need and I think it should be
It's
this
boomer
way.
talk.
And it's clearly like in my youth, it wasn't this. We didn't have this opportunity, but there's clearly a moment where you can just do that if you want to. Get your buddies together and fucking do it. Like I'm seeing
Yeah.
in our collective chats, we have like 40 some people watching. There's easily 30 people involved in these chats on a regular basis that I would be like, let's do it. Where do you want to do it? How do we start? Right? When do we start talking about it? Like, and I'm not saying it's not realistic because we all have obligations. I get it. But there's a lot of younger people out here, generations of people who are saying, I'm not going to own, right? I'm not going to play your game of like owning stuff, like a house or whatever. I'm not going to do the 9 to 5 job or whatever. Okay, well, I think it would be cool if they moved, and it's not even really a criticism. I just think it would be cooler if they would move further in that direction and just start doing things differently. And then over time, you see there's options in society. Oh, everyone either like graduates high school and goes to college or joins up with one of the 50 highly successful biodomes.
Yeah, you're not joining up with mine. We don't
But I'm
take any
saying-
more visitors.
But in 25 years, it'll be like, no, we're not going to wait for a post-apocalyptic setting to like utilize shopping malls for communities and stuff. We're going to just kind of do it now. We're going to get ahead of it. I don't know. Maybe it's
I like
naive.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. This is also setting up a more fun version of the cyberpunk future that I'm imagining.
These freeform
All-
conversations go fucking everywhere.
They do.
I don't talk
I
about
like
this stuff
them.
except here.
Right.
Bad
and
news
it's great.
for the
If
the
I
And
can
we
folks
have
in
the
Biodome.
best people. Yes, Andrea, please do.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think the criticism of being all talk and no action applies just to young people. I think it applies to a
I
lot of
know.
people.
Yeah.
It's
But,
it's
like-
all over.
But yeah, I mean, young people, like, they don't have the experience to know that everything is not going to work anyway. So they're more likely to do something. So I think it's probably easier to get young people involved in any project than old people if the project is of a monumental scale. But also, like, you have to think of humans, especially young people, as like dogs you're trying to train, because ultimately, like, most people are just like dumb little animals, right? So it's like you're competing with like smartphones, Taylor Swift, TikTok, fucking sugar in the fucking everything. You're competing with all of the goodies of capitalism that most people are already addicted to. Even if they're like 5 to 10 years old, you're already addicted to sugar, you're already addicted to caffeine, you're already addicted to your phone, right? So if you're going to create an alternative society, you have to actually make it better. Otherwise, people are just never going to actually jump over and
Or they're going to be
Enjoy it.
forced by, they're going to be Darwinized, and then those that are motivated and left will understand the big picture.
So mine will have
Uh,
all that plus cocaine.
Plus,
hell yeah.
what? Okay,
I got a pitch ready.
cocaine.
Hey, just so
Oh.
everyone knows, we're over an hour.
Oh, mercy
I don't
me.
even
Just
know what
pointing it
time
out.
is.
Do what you want.
Oh yeah. Well, it goes fast on this show because we do go everywhere. We don't have a script. 4 definitely different personalities, and we all seem to do pretty good together.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too. I enjoy these conversations. No matter how lousy I feel earlier, I say, oh God. And then I get myself dressed and feel better and know I'm going to have a stimulating conversation. It's great.
I
Since I
gotta
don't
say, the
see humans, Jake, I don't see anybody.
play of the
Yeah.
game is still. It's got to go to Andrea though. This
Look at it.
increasing picture
Hmm
has drawn me in.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Andrea
That's
at the Biodome. I love it.
her.
Yeah, it's great. She's drawing the show tonight. You're off, Matt.
Good. You know what? I sold a bunch of my books the other day, and now I don't know what to do with my shelf.
Oh, you
Boom,
saw.
boom.
I'm
Well,
trying to.
on the alternative,
people to
I
leave.
have a bunch of new books,
Oh.
and I just threw them on the floor because I'm out of shelf space. So
What do you got? What books?
Yeah.
the ones you sold.
Ah.
Oh,
I just read
Oh.
Thomas Paine's Promise of America and by Harvey K. And I'm reading his FDR Four Freedoms book now, The Fight for Four Freedoms. Have you guys read any of his books?
I'm familiar with the Four Freedoms, but I did not read it.
They read exactly like The Man Talks. It is so easy to if you've heard him talk at all about Thomas Paine, like you listen to him on any number of podcasts for like an hour to 4 hours talking about Thomas Paine, and then you read his book about Thomas Paine, you're like, this is just him talking.
Yeah, I
It's
don't have the
awesome.
book in here.
It's so good. I don't know why I expected it to be any different than just his voice, but it is his voice.
It's
the
very
book is in the
satisfying
living room. That's
when
what
that
I'm reading.
happens.
Racing to Extinction.
Well,
Doomer.
it's yeah, but he is a biologist and a scientist that's writing it. I mean, he worked for the Bureau of Land Management. He's been out there in the field his career, so he's an ecologist, and
Andrea passed
I
out.
guess you have to have a catchy title.
It's a good title. I have
It's a
I
good
have
book. I'm going to interview him.
Oh, nice.
Hmm
Let me throw a question at y'all. It's no shade, so it's no shade to whoever you pick. What animal do you feel has defied Darwin? There's no reason it should be around.
Oh, the bumblebee?
Oh, you think the bumblebee, really?
Well, wait. What do you mean by defy Darwin?
I mean, by by all accounts, you
Existence?
feel it should have gone extinct. It does not deserve. It's not
Oh,
that you dislike
I
it.
see.
It's just like you're
I
like,
see what you
what
mean, yeah.
are you doing?
No, because my thing is like, I always say the bumblebee when somebody, well, just because they're not supposed to be able to fly, but they can. But I see what you mean.
I watched
see
the
what you mean.
Bee movie recently.
A bee movie?
Duh. There's only one.
Okay.
But I would pick human beings.
You know, I'm almost there with you because we so willfully disregard our own safety. But I mean, I've flown before, and I got no wings. You know, the mind brains
Andrea,
of us humans. What is
these
that?
are cheap. These are super cheap.
What is that?
To
You
draw.
they hold your paper so that you
Yeah.
don't have to.
Look at
Oh.
that. Matt's so thoughtful.
Well, I have so much experience now. I could probably get a job doing this.
Oh yeah.
But Jake, that's a good question. I mean,
Yeah.
what's yours? Did you have an answer in mind for that?
I mean, I shamefully have a couple of answers. Sloths, for one. I adore sloths, but it makes no sense to me that they've survived
No
long enough.
self-defense mechanisms or anything?
None.
Maybe being really still, predators go right on by unnoticed.
And I guess being so nasty, like they're covered in moss, you'd be like, "Do I need to eat this? Am I starving to death? Is there anything else I could catch with my predator teeth?" Koalas, they're just. I feel like they're just asking to get at. Like if I was a crocodile.
This is a pretty wild thing to think about. I was thinking turtles because they get hit by cars all the time.
They do.
It's horrible. I used to have gloves. I don't have them in my truck now, but I had gloves, turtle gloves. I pick them. They were always in the road, and so I finally got a pair of turtle gloves so I wouldn't get snapped, and I would
Aw,
pick them up off the road.
that is so sweet of you.
Well, I'm not out
I
as
have
much
a-
anymore.
Another pick.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the elephant. Now,
Why
I
the
want you to
elephant?
think of an animal that actually
big.
has taken revenge against the human species, other than the elephant. Like the elephant will get their shit fucked up in Africa, and they'll send the whole herd to go fuck up this farm or whatever just to get
Yeah.
revenge against the
Holy
humans. Like
shit.
they're pretty
Yeah,
good.
I think that's
They're
a great
smart.
survival mechanism right
They
there.
are quite
I would
literally
not F with an
defying
elephant.
Darwin.
if
But
I
They're
thought
so
there was even a
big and they're
remote
running
Actually,
chance.
out of land and food.
Defying Darwin, doesn't that mean that they refuse to evolve and adapt?
Yeah, I guess I just meant like
And I
an
think
animal that it
everything
makes
has.
no sense that it survived.
Oh,
But
because
but,
everything,
Survival of the
everything is
fittest.
adapted, right?
Survival
Oh,
of the
yeah.
fittest.
some,
Well, I
like
gotta
the
look
mud
at-
kip. You
I
ever
gotta
see
look
those?
at insects
Oh, yeah.
because, well, their strength in numbers, but they're so small. What were you
It's
saying?
true.
The what?
Like
The
the
survival
mud
of
kip.
the. Oh. Who are you
It's
talking
hard
to?
for me to
Matt?
know when Jake's gonna talk because I can't see him. Jake, what were you gonna
Oh.
say?
Uh, the thing. I'm saying a Pokemon name. The lungfish.
Oh,
How fucking nerdy I am. There's fish where they're like 1/8 of the way to being something useful, but currently they're nothing useful, and they have been that way for 1,000,000 years, and they will be that way for 5,000,000 more. And you're just like, how has some animal not come by and be like, well, you understand how this works? You're out here crawling slowly at 0.5 mile an hour on land, and I'm a stork, so I'm going to eat you and your family and any other of your kind that come up here. It's just it's
is.
brutal.
It is interesting the way everything is capable of adapting to its environment. Just about everything, and will find a way to survive over
Yeah.
time. But
And it's all
I-
about survival of the fittest because it's all about consuming each other or consuming,
I don't know, because like I
What
was
is
saying,
that,
there's a
Andrea?
lot of like strength in numbers, and I don't know
Mhm.
if that qualifies as survival of the fittest. What?
This is my mud kip from memory.
That's good. Isn't it interesting? Let's see if we can
Spot on.
find what. How do you spell
I haven't
that?
looked at a mud kip in like fucking 10 years, but this is what I got.
The thing I was thinking of was the lungfish. I don't know where mudkip came from, but a mudkip is Mudkip. That's a Pokemon. That's a fictitious monster.
That's pretty
Again, half
good.
the things in my head are cartoon drawings.
I'm looking at the original. That's pretty good, Andrea. I like how domestic dogs and cats are so cool with being domesticated,
Yeah.
but would be fine on their own for the most part.
Also,
Like, I don't know about chihuahuas and lapdogs and stuff like that, but for the most part, like all cats and dogs would be like, oh, we live outside now? Okay. Like, maybe not
Yeah.
individually at first, but over time,
Oh yeah.
they would just naturally, as far as evolution goes, they would just be like, yeah, it's totally cool.
And we still have all the programming. Yeah, in Russia there are packs of wild dogs that were once upon a time domestic dogs that just are no longer.
Do you know Assateague Island?
Yes.
It's like a wild horse sanctuary. It's like they just let the
Oh
horses
my
go, and now they're like, we don't know what it's like to be saddled and ridden. I love that. I love that. I want cows to be free.
Yeah.
I would want to free the cows. Just
Yeah.
break into the farm.
Let's free the
open
cows.
gates.
Let's stop breeding the cows.
They would be so happy to just be out there,
Oh yeah.
grazing and chilling and just having a good time on their own. I don't know what they would do for shelter. Would cows start living in the woods?
I don't know.
It's kind of cool.
They would
Forest
adapt.
cows.
my
Forest
cows.
cows.
Fucking
Oh my
cool.
god.
Somehow one of us is going to convince the other three to go camping. And when that happens,
No,
years
cows
and
wouldn't.
years later, I do want you to know that in the middle of the night, I'm going to whisper, forest cows.
So wait, were cows at one time wild?
I don't know. I think they were domestic.
Yeah,
were
I
How
mean,
come
well,
I've
they
never
came
thought of
from
this?
Aurochs.
from something else. Let's look it up.
Wait, I've
The
never
Aurochs.
once thought
ORI.
of cows before Farms.
All right, the origins of
AUROX.
cows. Cattle domestication started in the 9th millennium BC in Southwest Asia. Domesticated cattle were then introduced into Europe during the Neolithic transition. However, the scarcity of genetic data from the first European domesticated cattle still inhibits the accurate reconstruction of their early demography. So
it's funny.
it
That
says
little line they threw in there, I
they were
think, is a
domesticated.
reference.
A wild
the fact-
bovine.
Someone
There's
just
a
said,
reference to the fact that we are currently, there's people out there who are trying to breed back the original cow, which no longer exists.
someone just said that cats and dogs would die within days without us. Now, here's the thing.
Not
Cats
many
don't.
Wow.
Cats and dogs on their own while humans existed, maybe. If no human, cats and dogs would be fine, I think. Now look, here's what
They eat the birds.
and it's like I said, not all of them. Like if humans suddenly because somebody did a documentary about this, like a series, and it
Yeah,
of course it was just imaginative, but if humans vanished and dogs were in their house, obviously they might not be able to get out. Some of them might be able to jump a fence, others, sorry, you're not going to make it. There's your survival of the fittest. Once they're out, now they roam in packs. And when they have puppies and litters, right? Those dogs are like, we don't know what it's like to rely on humans. Of course, this is fine. Well, maybe they don't have the same lifespan as when they're domesticated a pet, but
Right.
that doesn't really, that expectation is not the standard anymore. And so in this film, I think it was National Geographic probably, this was a while ago, they said like buildings, skyscrapers
Mhm.
would become ecosystems and like plant life would start
Oh,
to
yeah.
spring up in them. Sandy, you must have seen
Well, this has happened in
Oh, I've seen
Chernobyl,
shit like this,
actually.
yeah.
And the wolf
Right.
population and the wild
so
population
then they were
has
like
come back.
cats would just occupy the highest levels
Okay.
of
Oh.
the skyscrapers, right? They're like, we don't
Yeah.
fuck around on the ground. And so
What are we,
there'd
like
be a lot
4?
fewer
Ugh.
predators, and it'd be like skyscrapers would just be
What?
overrun with felines,
Oh my
which
god.
Oh, that's
and they
so
would have
interesting.
jungles like on the 30th floor.
No,
And
I
cats
haven't
would
seen
love
this.
that shit. Oh man, it was awesome.
Well, send me the link. It sounds like something I
I'll
would
try and
like
find it.
when I'm trying to keep my mind off.
It was called like
everything
if
else.
humans disappeared or
Yeah?
if humans vanished. It was something like
Ah,
that.
the
Yeah,
dream
like-
of
yeah,
probably
I
every
remember that.
wildlife, every sentient being besides humans would love
Everything got
that.
better.
And
Well, it
counterpoint
will.
to the comment earlier about dogs and cats not being able to survive. Not only could dogs survive, my dog did survive without human assistance for, as far as we can tell, at least multiple months.
How? What was the scenario?
They hunt. They eat.
When
little
I
animals.
found him in Detroit at a job site I was working on, he was friendly around humans, and he came up, and I asked around if he was anybody's dog, and they said no, he just lives in the area.
I see.
And I searched the area before anybody gets mad extensively for the owner who I suspected was homeless, and there was none.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I had a dog that lived in. She was feral when we got her.
Yeah.
She wasn't gonna live the 15 years that she ended up living, but
Aw.
Yeah.
she had puppies.
Yeah. Oh.
She was taking
Oh,
care of them.
wonderful.
Everything was fine. She even after we had her still hunt, and I was like, you don't have to do that anymore, right? She didn't care.
Mine does too.
Yeah.
He goes after he hunts for rats. And I have to stop him because I don't want to kill rats. But that's his thing.
Yeah, they do. They like to hunt. So Emerald View said perhaps the worst part of near-term human extinction will be the loss of dad jokes.
You're telling me.
Yeah, come on,
That's why-
Matt. We need some dad jokes.
That's why we got to start chiseling them into concrete every chance you get.
Yeah.
Chisel with the dad joke.
I'm just imagining the
Yeah.
archaeologist uncovering that, like they did with the Roman jokes in the graffiti, and they uncover it and they translate it, and then they there's just no reaction, and they take a sledgehammer to it.
You know, Romans were
Oh.
big on theater. Do you know why they always tell actors to break a leg?
No, why?
Because every play has a cast.
You're a monster. You'll be
I
tried in
didn't
the
write
Hague.
this.
He collects them for the show. Oh, dude, Chernobyl dogs have glow in the dark eyes. You know,
Did
I
you
don't know,
see-
but that would be an interesting show topic for me to do. The animals of
Irene
Chernobyl.
Geller, no comment chick. She was a guest of this show.
Yeah.
She was streaming this show where these other streamers, and I think that they made her, I don't know, they gave her like copyright slap or something.
Uh-huh.
They had they were in Chernobyl
Oh, I
skating.
watched it.
across the. You saw this?
I've seen the
What are
Chernobyl. Yeah.
those guys doing?
Yeah.
That's
I
they
saw
were
that,
ice skating.
and I saw another one
Chernobyl.
about.
Safe.
Listen,
were ice
they're moving
skating
people back to
in-
Fukushima.
Oh my god.
That can't be time for that yet.
Well,
seen
it
that
is in the
documentary?
exclusion zone. Yes. Yeah, and if you
documentary
ask
was
Brett, he knows everything.
intense. That was an intense documentary. And then I saw there was a Godzilla called Shinzo Godzilla. And I saw it right after the Fukushima documentary.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Fukushima?
Fukushima.
And I was like, this is
Daiichi.
modeled after that.
Oh
Because
man.
Well,
the
they are
scientists
bringing
on the
people
ground and the
back.
bureaucracy and government, it all messed each other.
Yes,
Yeah, but
Chernobyl
these
is
guys that
in
were
Ukraine.
playing around in Chernobyl, that just seemed crazy. That did not
Yeah.
seem wise.
I mean, have you
at all.
seen how people have handled the pandemic? You know, like people are fucking stupid. They're willing to kill themselves for.
Well, these
viral
guys are
videos all
like
the time.
opening a vial of COVID and chugging it practically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
They-
were
like
in.
TikTok
they-
has
Shit.
taught kids that like you can just do the dumbest thing on the world
they were-
and nearly die, and it's okay because you'll go viral, or you'll die thinking you're gonna go viral. So it's a win-win.
I don't have TikTok. I don't see these videos. I never.
I don't
do.
have TikTok either. I
I
boycott
saw-
that garbage.
Yeah,
I saw a
don't-
random like promoted TikTok that said, "Are you having trouble growing your Instagram?" And I was like, "Ew." Who is doing that? Who is trying to grow their Instagram?
Well, yes, I am
ugh.
having trouble growing my Instagram. Please tell me more.
It's
Ooh.
like I didn't get on
Honey.
Instagram to be famous.
I
Now
don't
that
even
I'm on
check
Instagram, I'll
Instagram.
grow it and be famous.
Oh my god.
It just seems to me like we were kind of talking about this earlier. Like I've now like the curmudgeonly old oh my god, the grumpy old man that I am, railing against YouTube's new like pay to advertise on YouTube thing. I feel like at its core, all of that stuff is a shortcut to nowhere. Because social media is so pervasive, it's so easy to find things that if your content isn't naturally generating an audience, all you're going to be doing is paying to have people show up to your party, turn around and leave. You know?
Wait, because they're seeing ads, which I haven't
No,
figured
but
out how to shut off.
because your stuff can be shared either because YouTube showed it to somebody or because somebody else showed it to them. And you can cut in the line and pay for the thing. And by the way, if you're on that platform, if you're concentrated on that platform, it's not something that you should just ignore. It's something you should certainly consider. But
Okay, I'm a
it,
little.
it opens you up to, it's like self-publishing, where it's fine to do if you've already been published, but if you haven't already been published, all you're doing is buying a bunch of copies of a book no one's going to read. And I just worry that like I'm just saying, like, if you pay to get your stuff forced in front of people's eyes, it's
well,
not going to
none
solve
of us
the
do
problem.
that.
No,
with
no, we
Jake
don't.
I'm
and I-
not doing that.
Jake and I have been talking about this a lot offline.
Y-
Well,
yes,
I want
and
to do
before
a fucking
that,
commercial. Like, I want to fucking do a
I
whole
only did
proper
it in the
fucking
past.
commercial. We'll spend $100 and see how many views we get. Do it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday at like 9. We'll start the ad run.
I see. Well, we
well,
talked about
first-
this last week because I did do it in Facebook Live years ago. I boosted the
Yeah.
pipeline
and
post,
And
but I'm not paying.
I
for
was
that.
talking about before Matt and I were talking about. I was talking about the fact that the feature just showed up in YouTube on my show, and before that, I used to buy ads for various local news companies on Facebook, so I'm familiar with that as well. And I do want to be clear, I'm not against the idea of buying ads necessarily. It's just like I feel like that's going to be scamming more people than it's going to be helping. I feel like there's going to be a bunch of people who just started. They just got started. They don't know really what their product is yet. They're not the letter hack with a sophisticated setup or whatever. They're Johnny Q. I'm not sure what my show is going to be, but they think they have to pay to play, and so they drop $200, and it doesn't help them at all. It just means 10,000 people don't click on their link.
So they're
you know?
being taken advantage of by another system.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Just like, the people that send all their money to Kenneth Copeland.
Oof. Oof.
Well, oof. It's a similar.
Should Jake, should there be a Kickstarter aspect to YouTube where you can like acquire orders in hand and then roll it out?
I don't know. I can't picture how that would work, but
Kind
I'm
of
immediately
crowdfunding
intrigued.
subs? I don't know.
I do think there's a place for buying ads and just saying like, look, I don't want to fiddle with making my content so it pleases an algorithm. I want to
Cool.
show this to people, yada yada. But
Yeah.
like that is maybe one of the few things I would restrict to, like you can't do it until you have, I don't know, a certain amount of something that demonstrates you're not just going to be burning your money.
Somebody asked me
Provided you have
recently-
money to burn.
Yeah, that's
Some-
true.
Sorry.
Well, that's why you wouldn't. But somebody asked me recently if they could use a piece of art that I have drawn this person so many times, and they are not a corporation by any means. And they said, "Do you mind if I use this piece of art for something?" And I said, "Go ahead." And they were like, "You don't need any payment." And I said, "I said this. I don't know how you would do this, but the only payment I ask is more YouTube subscribers."
Boom.
Okay.
LOL.
Boom.
Like,
Send
I don't know
people
how
to
you
the
would
channel.
do that.
Word
but-
of mouth. You tell everybody, and that's how
every
I did
time-
it for 7
every-
years.
Every time you show the artwork for whatever reason, you say this was the letter hack, go follow him or something.
Yeah. Why not?
And that's the thing is, this is what YouTube doesn't take into account.
Yeah.
I am not trying to get subscribers to be rich. I am trying to get subscribers to get more reach for the people that I platform, because I want to do the cross pollination. I'm not bringing these people on so I can get subs and more ad revenue
Exactly.
for myself. I'm
That's
bringing them on
beautiful.
to get the message out there, and that's what YouTube is.
Well,
not taking
YouTube
into
and
account.
all
That's
social
what
media
we like to do.
companies are preying upon like the fucking 12 and 13-year-old like next generation of YouTubers. So they want to do this DIY famous bullshit. Like, here are the hot tips to become famous. All you got to do is pay us money and then you'll become famous at some nondescript moment in the future. And you get the kids young with that kind of shit, like, yeah, you can be famous too. All you got to do is follow my course or some other fucking course shit.
Mm.
That I
Well,
feel
it
like
is
that was almost a
11:04
hint.
Yeah, it's 11:47. It's gone.
Yeah, this
See how
motherfucker's
it
saying,
goes
hey, what the
fast?
hell? Jake's still here? I'm trying to watch the show.
Well,
Jake is
yeah.
right now like horizontal with a microphone, like Hunter S. Thompson recording his next
that's
book.
terrifying.
Uh,
That is, dude, that is so spookily accurate. I have the mic arm fully extended. My legs are up on the
See?
desk. I am horizontal. and the mic is like shotgun pointed at my my mouth. Except, hold on, I did have to get vertical briefly in order to do this.
Exhale. Oh. That's all, folks. Jake's it. Jake's it. He put
I
together
guess
a
I can stop
compilation
with
of
this
those.
now.
Did you
Andrea. Oh, did he go?
did you see the compilation video he did of all
Yeah.
of his Jake's its?
Not yet.
Yes.
I'm a bad YouTube subscriber.
No, it was
I
great.
don't watch videos and
that
like,
was really good. Everybody's so
a couple
creative
days
here.
a week, maybe.
It's a creative bunch.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're tired. I know. It's almost my time
I'm just
too.
yawning. I'm just yawning.
Yeah, Letterhack's gonna tell us all like you got to get the hell out of here.
Oh, I have a question.
We got to read
I'm
Super
tired.
Chats.
Who is it that's going to come on with us next week, or is it
This is March 6th.
March
March
6th. We're not gonna have another guest the whole month.
That's all right. We
No, I
do
didn't
fine
say
without
that.
a
It's
guest,
just
but
this
this
one
is
guest
great.
is
Shit.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have somebody to look forward to. Yeah.
Morbius Dragon
Nadia.
gifted 1 Letter Hack membership, 2 Letter Hack memberships, and 1 Environmental Coffee House membership. Thank you, Morpheus Dragon.
see.
This Morpheus Dragon is so generous. This is always doing this.
And
Goddamn
great
Morpheus
arms.
Dragon, also known as
Yeah.
Morbius Dragon in the real world.
Did I call
And
him Morpheus?
thank you, an actual
Yes,
cloud.
you did.
Morbius. Sorry, Morbius. I'm
Who's
tired.
Morpheus?
From the Matrix.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why
gotcha.
there's more than one of us here, so we can correct each other.
Right. I noticed when you did it. Thank you, sweetheart. You see, I'm at that age where I can call everybody sweetheart and sweetie pie.
Who's this?
Oh god.
Nadia, thank you. YouTube is Amway 2.0, only more successful. It's just a multi-level marketing scam. You're right.
Nice,
Nadia's
nice.
brilliant. Oh my gosh. She's
Look
amazing.
at this.
I love Nadia. Wow. Reflect the sun. Aren't you beautiful? Such nice people. Gosh. That's awesome. So you get the memberships. That's cool. Okay, Lightning Rod, get me on there to talk shit about America. He's Canadian. Believe me, Americans talk shit about each other, ourselves enough. Annie Corporate.
Is that real money?
Of course.
I thought it was 70%. Do we get 70% of YouTube revenue, right?
I haven't paid attention to how much it is really.
I don't remember.
I'm just happy
but
that I get
thanks for
something
the-
that pays
comment.
for like Canva. Canva was this week, that actually pays for the channel. That's exciting for me. Yep. Looney Tunes. Oh, we love you. Best mod on the planet next to Kim, of course. I have to say that. Kim would she's been with me since the beginning. Years.
Yeah, it is 30. They take 30%. I was going to say,
It's a lot of
if
percent.
they're taking 60%, I'm making a lot more money than I thought I was.
It's a private tax.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's Twitch that it's a robbery. Isn't that 50-50? I don't know.
I have no clue. I'm terrible at paying
I hate
attention to these
ads.
things.
I hate when the ad comes on. You're like 45-minute ad. I'm not going to be watching this shit
Oh, on
for
Twitch?
45 minutes. No, on YouTube.
Oh,
Like a 45-minute ad comes on, even if it's like 5 minutes.
I
It's
thought
like,
it just ticked down a few seconds.
huh?
I thought it had a thing where it just ticks down a few seconds and you can get
You
rid
can
of it.
skip it, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, who put a 45-minute ad on
That was
an
me, I'm
hour
sorry.
video? Like
I
that just
apologize.
Right.
I did that.
anyway.
Well,
It doesn't
I
make any
needed
sense
to
to do that.
learn from Jake how not to have ads during the lives. And the only way I could set it up was have it 30 minutes. And so that would be one ad usually during an average show, of an hour. But we never seem to go just an hour. They're always an hour and a half. And well, yesterday, 20 minutes of Jim was trying to get his internet to work from Fairbanks. So we had
That
that.
show's got that video had a lot of views last I checked though.
Well, they love Jim because he's so fucking smart. I mean, he's
I was
the
watching.
he, that's cool. He's the oceanographer's oceanographer. I like Jim. And then when we get off from the show, we talk for another hour. That's the problem,
Oh,
though.
fuck.
Then my back is killing me. Yeah,
Damn,
but
look at this.
because we don't. Oh, look at that. Because we
There you
don't get
go.
to very often, and there's always a lot to talk about.
How much does that fucking cost? Reflect the Sun. How much money?
What are your memberships?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
Obsolete
forget.
Optics does that. It's quite a chunk of money. He did it for mine. It was hundreds of dollars.
I don't even have 50 viewers. Like, who's getting this shit?
That's
Like-
the thing. It's random, and
It
I
goes
don't.
all
I don't,
over.
Yeah, and I don't think that the members that Obsolete Optics bought memberships for understand that they're members right now. So I need to make another members only video, and that's how they'll see, because they'll see, oh, it's targeted to them because they're members only.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, this is fake money. I got this on the internet.
I see.
You fucking idiots.
I didn't even notice. I thought
We
you were playing with
had-
fake money. Oh
we
boy.
had a printer
Andrea.
with a scanner.
I'm sorry, I didn't think it was real.
We had a scanner at work one time that would
You're too
not
funny.
scan dollar bills.
Oh, really? It had a built-in it could recognize
I guess so.
the seal. Look at that. Hey, all right, guys. I'm going pretty soon too, but we've got a full house over in my chat. So of course, like always, I'll leave it up. And
Yeah, I
'Cause
was gonna say we're going a lot sooner than pretty soon.
okay, only because I don't
Fucking
know.
Matt's
what
like,
it's doing.
we got a countdown clock on every show
Hey,
now.
we had
like,
2 hours. If you didn't get it
listen, I
in
woke
2
up
hours,
at like
that's on you.
fucking 6 in the morning after sleeping from 4 to 6 a.m. Listen, I gotta get out of here like Joe Biden when someone tells him not to run for president. You just get all antsy.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, I
I was
appreciate
on the
everybody
treadmill
that
for
came.
3 miles. I played tennis for an hour and a half.
Yeah, breathing
Damn.
in all that formaldehyde
I've
and
been
the
doing
fucking whatever
nothing
else
but
people are
not-
burning.
Not feeling great. I've been tired since I had COVID. I don't like it at all, but I try to ignore it, and it doesn't want to ignore me.
I recommend sleep.
Yeah, well, that's hard sometimes. There's a lot to do here.
Well,
Hey,
Sleep is elusive for me, Andrea. Maybe you can give me a secret.
oh,
We'll have
I'm
to
not.
talk.
I
we'll have
used
to
to be
talk
better
about
at
this.
sleep, but I
Yeah.
have fallen far from my grace.
Yeah, I'm not a wonderful sleeper. But I also have these idiots jumping on me and waking me up at various times called little cats that like to, I can't keep them out of the bedroom. So they will jump. And there's one that wants to sleep in the head and one that wants to play and the kitten. And there's always, so they wake me up and then I can't get back to sleep. I think
Max
a lot
the
of
dog
people have
loves to
that.
just like fucking get off the bed, then get back on the bed and sit like just like put his full weight on like my stomach or something, and I wake up in pain, excruciating pain.
Oh,
You know,
he
this
doesn't
guy's
know
like,
that. He
well,
loves you. He
we're
wants
all
to
under
be
the
able-
blanket, so it's
Yeah.
like he just
miss
steps on
dogs.
my liver, you
Oh,
know.
Squash.
You know, it's-
Squash.
I wake up in pain, excruciating agony. This is why I'm like this now, because I got punched in the liver by a dog.
Ouch. Ouch. I know I see everybody talking about the tennis and going outside. Yes, my time will come and I will be outside getting my garden beds ready. And I've been saying to myself all week, I'm going to get these flats planted inside and get the shit started. It's February. Seeds got to germinate. Takes several seeds take, weeks and weeks before I can get them out.
See,
What do we got?
$210 for
That's
a used pair of
insane.
shoes from like I think late 70s.
Oh my gosh.
And why? What's the purpose?
Maybe not 70s. These might be a little later,
Adidas.
but
Who wore
Are like
them?
shoes back then better quality?
the style wasn't made for a long time.
How do y'all feel about? I'm gonna dump a conspiracy theory I've been cooking up on y'all.
Oh boy.
So, how do you feel about how shoes mold people's feet?
These are the new ones.
So you
What
mean
do you mean?
are
Well,
we having our
specifically the
feet molded?
toes. Like, you know how your
Oh.
toes, when you wear shoes a lot, your toes go like this. They point a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas human toes are supposed to go straight or flare out.
Well, they've
I
been
don't
doing it to
wear
women
shoes a lot.
forever, and I guess I is it a conspiracy that I wore
Well, my
high
conspiracy is that
heels?
people have their feet molded over time, and that they're just okay with that, and that's weird
Ooh.
to me. Like, why are corporations changing our anatomy without anyone talking about it?
It wouldn't happen in the biodome. We
It
need
definitely
shoes.
would not. We wouldn't be wearing shoes in the biodome. What are you gonna step on? A rock? No rocks.
Very interesting conspiracy, Andrea.
I come up with all kinds of,
It's been already against women forever with the shoes.
Oh yeah, it's not good. And now I have a question. Now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna show this, but I have 2 toes that are like kind of fucked up, and they're like fused together a little bit,
Oh,
and it
web
causes
toes.
me discomfort with my shoes, I
Oh.
think.
Oh.
So like maybe I'm hypersensitive to it, but I got some
Maybe.
fucked up toes. Maybe one day
Maybe you
I'll show.
need wide shoes.
Yeah.
You know how you can get them wide?
Yeah, well,
sometimes?
that's the thing. You can get wide shoes, but it's like they still have this like weird pointed design, you know?
Even with sneakers? Even sneakers?
Well, I haven't bought that many sneakers, but
Okay.
They're-
Well,
they're
I
the
don't
best,
know. I
like,
never
ones that
see
are
your
like-
feet. I don't know what you wear.
like, I like them squishy so you have enough room. I don't like a shoe that's like, I don't know, boots are hard for me.
I wear boots. I
To-
have like a lot of boots. I am a boot freak. Tons of boots. Not when I'm around the house, not, but I have a lot of boots. I have Harley riding boots. I still have them. I can't seem to. I wonder how much they would fetch on eBay.
Seriously, I mean,
Yeah, they're
worth looking
Harley
into.
boots. They're labeled. Yeah. All right,
um,
guys. Well, I'm gonna say good night, and you
Okay.
guys can bring it out. Good night to
It's
my
midnight
wonderful,
on the East Coast.
fabulous, wonderful chat, and Andrea's chat, and Matt's chat, and Jake's chat. Thank you so much, and I will see you on my channel Friday night at 9:00. Mwah.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Sandy.
Bye, Andrea. Love you.
Bye-bye. Just
Andrew,
a reminder,
let me,
everyone come to my chat and you get a free gift, free membership, apparently.
let me
so-
read this tweet to you that I saw from David Sirota. He said,
Hit
it's
me.
kind of... What?
I said hit me. I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, here we go. It's kind of wild how all the big-time elected... It's kind of wild how all the big-time elected Dems who could have successfully challenged Biden for the nomination instead sat it out, waiting to run in a future presidential election. They say probably won't even happen if the party now loses in 2024 and democracy is ended. That's a good point. He's saying that there are people out there saying, if we lose, we're not going to get another chance to run as president, who could have run as president now, ensuring we won't lose.
Well, that's the thing.
By being
All
a
these
stronger
fucking
candidate. I don't get
Democrats
it.
are losers. Like, they're fucking losers. Like that jackass that was like, these are war crimes. Israel is war criminals. And then he voted for the fucking bill anyway. Like, these motherfuckers, they don't believe anything. They
But
you know?
they're letting this is just so when he puts it in that way, it just makes me go, I hate it all. Like, I hate it more than I hated it a minute before reading this.
Oh, I hate everything. I am a
We
fucking
might
curmudgeon.
lose.
Fuck them all?
They're saying we might lose because people won't vote for the obvious choice, ignoring that people don't want to vote for him because he sucks. When the rest of that thought process is he fucking sucks, and there's plenty other people out there who could do the job, and we would vote for them in a landslide.
I'm just like,
I don't get this.
my
anymore.
only
It's
hope
so-
for like Trump not winning is if fucking
But it's not even
If
winning.
Joe Biden
It's
pulls
not
a
even like
Dianne Feinstein, like, that's our only hope at
but
this
it's
point.
not even technically winning. It's just by default. Like, I hate that we call it winning and losing because it's just not anymore. It's like, who managed to keep the most people from sitting out the election? It's not even like the votes would go to another. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to vote for you because I'm voting. Like when I was a kid, you would vote for one or the other or sit it out. And now it's just like you vote for this one guy or sit it out. It would make more sense to me if people were like, I'm not voting for Biden, I'm voting for Trump. But instead, it's like they're just struggling to see, and they don't give a fuck that this is the way it is. They're just struggling to see who can get the most voters to not sit it out. How, I mean, you want to talk about low intensity democracy.
Well, I mean,
That
like,
is
Americans
low
are fucking
effort.
stupid. They don't give a shit about anything. Like, they're just a bunch of fucking entitled, little self-absorbed, narcissistic morons, right? They're also uneducated, so they don't know what the fuck's good. They don't know what the fuck's bad. I mean, if you look at, like, polls, which I'm skeptical of, you'll see that, like, a lot of minorities are, like, now supporting Trump, Like, there's a lot of people, like, that...
I mean, I don't think that is... That drives me nuts because that
Oh.
doesn't make any more sense than the fact that there are stronger candidates out there and the Democrats could be like, look, we need to put somebody else up there. Sorry, man.
Well, yeah, well, the Democrats, they don't want to win. They don't, like, winning to them is like getting a bonus, Like, they don't go for the bonus, but if they get it, all right, But, like, all they really care about is, like, maintaining the power that they have within, like, a localized sphere of influence. They don't give a shit about helping people. They don't give a shit about, like, maintaining wider power. Like, the people in the party want to maintain the leadership role of the party, and they'd rather the party, along with the country, sink to the fucking bottom of the ocean before they, like, take off their captain's hat.
Yeah, I just think that, like, retire. Like, shouldn't we find it tragic that Dianne Feinstein never retired? Maybe. I mean, right before she died, she sold a multi-million vacation home in Aspen, Colorado, because she was like, well, I'm definitely not using that place anymore. I'm too old to even go on vacation. But you're still going to work?
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Like, Dianne Feinstein has set a great example for Joe Biden to learn from.
I think the whole thing has just become so bizarre. I mean, it was like getting there and people could feel it getting there, and I think it's there. I just think it's so weird. But the way Sirota said it, the same people who are telling you, if we don't win, we'll never have an election again, could potentially be the better candidate in this case.
I mean, I feel like anyone would be a better candidate than Joe Biden.
At least have debates. At least have a primary.
Oh, I mean, you can't have
going,
debates. You can't have a primary. The Democratic Party, democracy? No. Democracy for, like, us, but not for you.
But to keep saying, like, oh, Biden won South Carolina. Biden won. Yeah, what are you talking about? There's no other choice. It's so...
Now, I have an issue with all
weird.
these, like, fucking so-called left-wing news show people that, like, we're talking about either primary. Like, both of those elections, Republican, Democrat, like, they're both fake elections. Like, why the fuck would anyone waste any time giving any of this air? Like, none of these people had any fucking sway at all. They're not going to do anything. Like, it's just a dog and pony show. Like, it's, I don't know, the whole election thing. The fact that we're getting Biden and Trump again, it's mind numbing. It makes me want to just jump out of my window, and I live on the first story, so it's not going to hurt at all, just to be clear.
Well, it's like Jake always says, you got to focus on the house. I think that's where we're at right now. You got to focus on, people say focus on communities, local government, state, get smaller. The presidency, it's not serious, and I think it's more obvious than ever. And yes, I just saw in the chat that Biden is the most qualified person. Between him and Trump, yeah, but he's not the most qualified Democrat candidate
Who
out
said
there.
that?
I didn't see it, but, like, I just want to be clear. I'm talking about all the people that could run for office who would be far more qualified than Biden based on, and I'm not an ableist, and I'm I'm not condemning the guy for being a senior citizen, but
I am.
like
If you're part of the silent generation, act like it. Keep your yapper shut.
as someone who's going to be 50 this year, I know that there are certain things that happen to us as we get older. Well, I mean, obviously, but firsthand experience here is what I'm talking about. There are things that happen to us as we get older that are out of our control. And so to put that guy in a position that's quote unquote the most powerful man in the world after when he's like well into his 80s, no.
But that's the thing, like, and this is all shit that, like, I knew this, and, like, most people, like, on the left understood this during, like, the 2020 primary, right? Like, this is why getting Bernie in there, you know, was so important, you know? Like, because once you get Biden in, that's not just 4 years until the next cycle. It's 8 years because you have to, or 16 or 12, depending on how, like, Kamala, like, plays it, right? Like, and we don't have time for this fucking horse shit. But I think we're fucked. So, doesn't matter.
Well, if we put all of our cards on the, if that's a saying, if we put all of our hopes and dreams and everything on the presidency,
Oh, it's a doomed
Yeah.
plot.
there's a lot of work that can be done at other levels, and it's a matter of convincing people, the voters and citizens, that you don't just come out to defeat a candidate and then go, we did it, everything will be fine. No, you have to be involved on a regular basis. And the people in government and these political parties, the big two, are counting on you not being involved. It's like when you get, you know, those gym memberships that are like $10 a month, real cheap,
Oh
right?
yeah,
They're
but like
counting
I
on
think
you.
it's like 60% of them are people that don't even go.
They're counting on that. It's like streaming services originally were really affordable because they're counting on you just forgetting you even had it. And people
Yeah,
got
that
wise,
happened to
and now
me
they're starting
too.
to jack it up.
Sometimes I remember I purged a lot of the subscriptions I don't use like a couple years ago, and I was just like,
Do you want to read this from Nadia?
the people are 54% functionally illiterate, largely by dint of deprivation, and entire publicly visible political apparatus is a rigged sham and transparent travesty, thinly veiled plutocracy.
Yep. Plutocracy.
I don't even know about the 54%. I feel like functionally illiterate is like I feel like most people like their literacy skill is like insofar as like can they read the directions on like the signs on the road so that they don't crash the car and they can get to work on time. You know,
Yeah,
like I think most people are not like capable of like complex conversation. Like, you know, they're not capable of paragraphs. Like I think most people, if you like ask them to comprehend a paragraph, they wouldn't be able to really do so unless they tried really hard. Not to mention that like everyone getting COVID 15 times a year is making them dumber. There are studies that have found that COVID reduces
But-
your IQ by 10 to 20. It ages your
Yeah.
brain by 20 years. You know, like everyone's getting dumber and
But
stupider.
this
and
is the thing: is I don't think ultimately I can judge personally. I can judge or blame people for where they're at now, because this country and this world has done nothing to prop people up and give them an advantage. If there had been such a thing as universal health care when I was a kid, just imagine how people would just be healthier and more intelligent all the way around naturally. It would just be that way.
I mean, if there wasn't lead in the fucking air for goddamn how
that's
long
what I'm
it was.
saying. All this
Yep.
stuff has been done to, and so, you know, it's really hard for me to go, look at all the dummies out there. What I say is, look at how they're trying to make everyone dummies.
I like to do both.
Well, I mean,
I like
There are
to, you know,
some
I'm a
people who
both
just
sideser. I like to attack the
revel in it.
people and the government, you know. I like to sit on the fence, you know. Both sides.
hey, it's your fence. I'm just sitting on it. That's what I always say.
I would never own a fence. I don't believe in borders.
I just welcome
bookstore.
people to embrace other people's struggles instead of asking them to embrace their own. This is what I want the world to be personally. as of 2024 and going forward. My struggle is not your struggle, but your struggle is my struggle. I think that is, if everyone had that level of consideration socially, then it would.
Well, you have to also
We'd all
understand
be
that like
better
a
off.
lot of people in that space would just lie. Like there was a fucking report that came out that said 75% of Americans hide whether they're sick before social gatherings. Like motherfuckers will say, "No, I'm not sick at all." They'll fly over to Christmas, infect the whole family with a deadly virus, and then go like, "How did that happen?" 75% of Americans, according to a survey, said that they would lie about their illness before social gatherings so that they can maintain status. Like, so there's just people just lie. Like, fake solidarity
Isn't
is a
that
big
funny?
thing.
Because I would be like, "Oh, thank God I got sick. I can stay home."
Yeah, well, most people, I think, I don't know, they're just so
Like, I
addicted to
need
these
to be
stupid
at
fucking
Christmas.
traditions. Like, oh yeah, we have to go to the Christmas party or Christmas family vacation where like I hate everybody, but we just have to go. Oh, I'm sick. Well, let me just lie to everybody, and then whoops, everyone got sick, and no one could even enjoy the fucking vacation to begin with because people are fucking stupid. We just live in a stupidville, and yeah, people made them stupid. The people in power created the conditions for people to be fucking dumb, right? But I feel like I have a little more faith in the people. You know, I feel like I want
Okay.
people to actually.
Name one situation where you would lie about being sick because you got to be there. Just one. Can you? Because I can't think of one. Can you think of one?
No.
Not anything. Like, hey, if you go to this thing, there's 10 people invited. You're one of them. You get $1 million. You can't be sick though. Sorry, we're not going to test you. Just the honor system. It's a
I mean,
hypothetical.
$1 million
Would you lie?
bucks. Like, well, I wouldn't be around anyone for $1 million. Like, because like I wouldn't. It's not that I even if sick or not, I don't want to get their sickness. I think one of them would be even sicker or as sick as me, assuming I'm sick at the time. Haven't been sick in multiple years, by the way, so just throwing that one out there. But like I wouldn't want to get a sickness from them. $1 million? I don't think so. You're gonna
I
have to
would
put at
say-
least $1 billion on the table before I would even
say
consider it.
I'm not sick. I would totally lie. Then right before I went in there, like let's say it's like a little cocktail party and then you get your check and you can leave. Right before you go in there, I'd be like,
But
Good.
again, I would be doing that to protect myself from their sickness.
I don't know.
You got to go like breathe into your arm, you know, so you can get some oxygen.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
It was all right. My arms are tired. I had a big flight the other day.
Wow. Hey, what did Tennessee? The same thing, Arkansas. No. No. It doesn't start now. It ends now.